Wes Unseld's game is his unselfishness. On Thursday night, he scored only 2 points, but he pulled down 15 rebounds. More importantly, he did a superb job against Marvin Webster, the 7-foot, 1-inch center for the Seattle SuperSonics. It's game 3 of the championship. Hysteria stalks Landover, Maryland. From the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, it is Game 3 of the NBA Championship Series, the Washington Bullets and the Seattle SuperSonics. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brent Musburger, and already it is very difficult here to hear yourself think. Keep in mind one statistic. Seattle and Washington have not lost a game during the entire playoffs on their home floor. The Bullets are battling to keep that streak alive. For more on Seattle, let's go to Rick Barry.
Despite the fact that they lost the game the other night, the Seattle team is still extremely confident. One area of the game that has caused a great deal of concern for Coach Lenny Wilkens has been the defense. The Sonic team has not been very effective offensively at the start of the game. They have allowed this to dictate their defensive showing, and it has been very poor. For the Washington story, here is Gus Johnson.
Thank you very much. I don't think, Rick, that the Bullets have to change anything. They've been doing excellent going inside to Unseld, to Hayes. They've also been having a lot of success with Bobby Dandridge. Some are saying Mitch Kupchak's not playing enough. Well, Unseld had 15 rebounds in the game the other night. I think that if the situation calls for it, Kupchak will get some playing time. And now back to Bent for the starting lineup.
Gus, thank you very much. For Lenny Wilkens and Seattle, it'll be the familiar 5. John Johnson, Sigma, Webster, Williams, and Dennis Johnson in the backcourt. They'll match up against Dick Motta's Washington 5. Dandridge and Hayes, the 2 main men on Thursday night. Unseld in the hole. Henderson and Greavy are the starting guards. The officials for this afternoon's 3rd game, John Bannock on the left and Earl Strom on the right, will work the game. Paul Mahalik is the man in the middle. He will sit at the scorer's table as the alternate. Things to watch early in the game. How will Kevin Greavy, number 35, be moving for the Bullets? Painful ankle slowed him on Thursday night. How will Seattle's defense adjust to Bobby Dandridge and Eldon Hayes, who tore gaping holes in them on Thursday night to even this series in a game apiece? Webster played 44 minutes against Unseld. He has vowed to win on the road for the Sonics. The men in white from Washington control the opening tap. Bobby Dandridge with John Johnson knowing he has to tighten up on him. He's short with his first shot. Webster dives for the loose ball and he jumps against Tom Henderson.
Very intense out here right now, Brent. Guys are going. They're going to test each other. Looks like Dandridge come down inside right away to find out just what he can do with JJ.
I didn't think it could get any louder than it was Thursday night, but I believe it is right now in the Capitol Center. More than 19,000 on hand. Gus Williams dishes John Johnson right side. Still no score. Greavy controls Bullets. Here's Dandridge, right corner. He likes to hit off the break if he can. And the Sonics are very aware of that. Johnson was stalking him every moment. Here's Elvin Hayes on the right side. Backing up against six.
I can't believe that shot. He wanted the shot very badly. He came down, posted, and he took a 4th shot looking for a foul, but he hit the big hoop.
Henderson awaits Gus Williams. Johnson gives the cutter Williams the ball back. Jumper. We're tied.
That's something Gus Williams has got to do more of. He did not look to be offensive-minded in the game the other night. When Gus is going good offensively, it keys the Seattle attack.
Johnson is draped all over Dandridge, trying to deny him the ball that time. And an offensive foul has been called. Dandridge was trying to wiggle free from the trap over there on that side and drew the foul.
there's a possibility that there'll be very close calls out here this afternoon for the simple fact is that the refs are going to have to try and keep things under control very early in this game.
Sikma pops out. He's got to become more of a factor for the Sonics, and he knows it. Only 3 rebounds the other night. Johnson driving on Dandridge. Goes to the glass. Elvin Hayes yanks the rebound. Only 9 boards Thursday night for Hayes.
He looked hungry today.
Greavy goes left side, Hayes. Sikma there. Hayes will go up outside.
I think they've come to play this afternoon, Rick.
Yeah, Elvin Hayes wants to get rid of that stigma of him not playing well in playoff competition.
Williams with 4 points. And the score is tied, and 10:16 to go in the first period of Game 3 from Landover. Dandridge far away from the basket. Johnson concentrating heavily on him now, both at the defensive end and trying to make him work at the other end. On the switch, it's Webster, and Dandridge. Marvin hesitated a minute before he jumped out, and Dandridge made him pay for it.
Defensively, man's got to jump out and pick Bobby up. You can't give him that shot.
Kevin Greavy and Elvin Hayes were awaiting Dennis Johnson now as he drove toward the basket that time.
Hayes gets down the floor very quickly here, and he sets up. But Johnson's got the move going to the hoop. You can see him reaching inside there.
Greavy picked the foul up, reached in on Webster, knocked the ball away. Greavy controls for the Bullets. Here's Hayes again. In and out, just a touch hard, but he had the range that time. Dennis Johnson calling the play now for the Sonics, controlling the ball against Greavy, and Sikma out to meet. Hayes helping front Webster, and so Sikma goes up outside. They need that power outside. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon for Marvin Webster. Henderson switched hands on the dribble. Unseld now. He's short of everything, but the man underneath is Henderson, the guard, taken down by Sikma. Outlet for Gus Williams. Greavy is back. Unseld goes with Webster. Williams to the glass. He scores, and a chance for a 3-pointer and 2 fouls on Greavy.
And Gus Williams is definitely exerting himself here in the early stage of this ball game. A very key factor right here. You see the replay coming up now, and there goes Gus taking Greavy. Got him a little bit hanging to the left side, caught him with half a step, took the opening to the hoop, picked up the foul. 2 fouls on Greavy. Gus Williams looking to do it here this afternoon.
7 points for the former guard of USC and the Golden State Warriors.
Now watch this contact. Look at Wes Sundell. He's going to deny that position as much as possible on Marvin Webster.
It is John Johnson who's denying Dandridge the ball right now, though, who has become a key factor. It's a Hayes screen that frees Dandridge. Sikma's over on him, and Bobby comes up short. Hayes couldn't knock it in, but Unseld batted it back to Greavy. Bullets control. The great power of Unseld underneath, paying a dividend there. Unseld with a pick out high, trying to wipe Johnson off. Henderson goes to the right side, makes a jump shot.
Tom Henderson, a man that's been a factor here since that second ball game. He ignited himself offensively, and that really helped that Bullet team.
Williams now 3 of 4. Hayes outlet pass. Henderson on the run. Johnson says go to him. Dennis and John goes to the other side to Greavy. Tom comes in, and Dennis stops him. Gus Williams now bringing it back for the Sonics on the move, and Elvin Hayes was in behind him. It's in the attack court, not the back court. Earl Strom signals right away.
Well, Elvin doesn't have any place back there attempting to grab the ball or make any play at it from that far out.
See the pick by Wes Unseld there. That was the last play down there trying 3 men, and he really sets a great one.
We have had a technical foul call underneath
on Wesley Unseld. Said something to the official that he didn't like. Earl Strom called the check on him.
Gus Williams at the free throw line for the Sonics. He can tie it with 8:12 left in the first period. Gus demonstrating that he's human after all.
Gus having some difficulty on the free throw line. He started that in that Denver series, and he was going bad, and it seems to have carried over.
Dennis Johnson, top of the circle, looks in. Swings left side. Here's Sikma now coming free, and there was a whistle before the shot. Hayes, and Hayes is upset.
Very good call by the official. What they've got to do is keep him from getting so physical. Elvin actually literally grabbed the man and held him there. Here's a play right here coming up now. He shoved Simka there. That was the second part of the foul. They didn't get the first part of the foul at all because Simka was making a move to the hoop. So therefore, Elvin grabbed him, which was a ridiculous foul in this situation.
tell you, my left ear, where I'm getting you guys in there, is a bitch.
Right there?
I mean, I am getting crowd noise, and it's distorting Brent, and it is just absolutely horrible.
Yes, hello, Rick.
I mean, it's very hollow.
Yeah, it is.
It's echoing. I pick up the crowd noise like crazy. My right ear, if I could just stay like this and listen to it, it's beautiful. But when I got to put the left ear down, it is just brutal.
Elvin's got 2 fouls now.
I'm okay.
Yeah, listening to you right now, it's a very hollow, echoey feeling. It is very hard to understand what is being said. It's terrible.
Yes, sir.
I'm just getting overwhelmed with crowd. That sounds better right now.
That's good because I want to talk about the fouls right away.
Good now.
Okay. Coming out? All right, good.
Whatever you've done, it's great right now. Whatever it was, it sounds a hell of a lot better. Yeah?
Yeah, we blew twice. Okay, my mistake. Yes.
Gus Williams has all the points, doesn't he?
Fill in the blank. Anguish, anger, disbelief, whatever the Washington Bullets are in the penalty, and Jack Sikma hits the free throw. Greavy with 2 fouls, 2 against Hayes and 1 against Unseld with 8:06 to go. Not a team foul against Seattle. And the Sonics, throughout the playoffs, have had an edge at the free throw line, and they can make it pay a dividend here early in Game 3. It is the tracking of Johnson against Dandridge that has thrown the Bullets off early. Let's see what they do about it. Now it is Henderson. They want to get Dandridge free if they can. Hayes down low, got Sikma up for the foul.
Jack Sikma violated the one rule in defense is you don't leave your feet. Elvin took advantage of it with the experience he has.
Hayes shooting for his 5th point. He has yanked down 3 rebounds. Now, when I said only 9 rebounds for Elvin Hayes on Thursday night, someone might have said, what's wrong with that? Well, throughout the playoffs, Hayes has had 10 or more in each game. But he was a scoring force, and he did well defensively. He took Sikma right out of the ball game. Gus Williams now. He's been the main man for the Sonics. 9-8. Sonics are ahead of the Bullets by a point. Dennis Johnson, the cutter. Pretty inside guard. Got a lot of ability. Henderson gets free. Dennis Johnson is down. Now it is attack 5-on-4. And Henderson swings open. Johnson had to switch. They go to Dandridge. And Dandridge made him pay, but it was Dennis Johnson falling in the backcourt that gave him an edge on that attack.
Looking for the open man. Very smart pass there.
Webster being bumped, coming with a left-handed hook, and he traveled, something that Marvin does frequently.
Marvin has a tendency sometimes to shuffle his feet a little bit, but that is the first time we've seen him in quite a while use that left-handed hook that was so effective in the Denver series. But I'm sure Lenny Wilkins wants to get him involved more down deep inside, put pressure on Wesley, make him play more defense, perhaps get in foul trouble.
The Sonics do not want to fall back early. Look at that Unseld pick. Henderson doesn't go, and so Unseld rolls, and Greavy's got the open ball in the shot. Outlet Webster hits Dennis Johnson. Henderson is back, awaits him. Pull up. Gus Williams with great hustle got inside Bobby Dandridge that time and took it away.
That was just super individual effort on the part of Gus Williams.
Dandridge swings right side now. Webster jumps over on him. Number 10 is being constantly watched here early. Left with the outside shot in and out. Battle for the ball. It was Hayes winning it underneath, and Gus Williams at the other end. Loses it. Henderson back. 3-on-2. Washington with the advantage. Henderson with a second shot. Taken down by Hayes.
Here's a very good move right here. Henderson takes a jump shot, which it didn't go in. He follows the shot, throws it back up against the board. Here, he taps it again, goes up, gets a shot, and gets a foul.
And again, it appears to me as though Jack Sikma is not as decisive about his game as he was against Los Angeles, against Portland, and then in the later stages against Denver. Some disbelief started to creep in. That time, he could have stepped in and nailed Elvin Hayes on that side, and he let Hayes control the offensive glass. The rookie has got to come alive. It's tied at 13, 6-12, and of course, if you're a Washington fan, you're hoping that he stays right where he is. Here now is Marvin Webster. Unseld with a hand. Goes to the bump and grind against him. Hits the routine. Webster. He was obviously affected by Unseld's tough defense that time. Henderson left side. Here's he coming up on Dennis Johnson. In and out. It's Bobby Dandridge to the glass. Washington controlling the offensive board right now. Not shooting well, but they're getting extra shots. Loose ball foul. Hayes was going for position that time, and it was Dennis Johnson.
Well, watch the replay.
Shot out of the corner by Greavy here. Elvin has excellent inside on the board. Goes back up, gets fouled on the arm there.
That's a helpless situation for Dennis Johnson, the little guy with a guy 6'9". He just tried to back him out.
The back end by Dandridge, something he tried a lot in game 1. It works here in game 3.
They allow Bobby Dandridge to continue to do that. They're going to have big problems. He just loves that shot. They're going to have to send the guard at him, make him give the ball up.
But of course, in game 2, he altered his game and came outside and faced up, breaking on the wing off the fast break. We got a push underneath. This, I believe, is the toughest championship series I've seen in 4 years.
Well, the officials are right down on top of it. Unseld has been very brutal in this series. He's pushing on the man, and officials cannot allow to let this happen.
Mata and Bickerstaff are up. Bernie restraining the feisty head coach of the Bullets.
You know, a lot of people will say, oh, well, that's the way the game's supposed to be played. This is not the way the game's supposed to be played. This is supposed to be a game where you're supposed to use position. You're not supposed to be banging and hammering people out there. And the officials are doing a good job of trying to clean it up and not allow that to happen.
Al Unser, after 100 laps with a lead at the Indy 500. I believe he's shooting for his 3rd. I've got to check myself now. I think Al has won it twice, but I want someone to check me. Henderson swings left side to Greavy. Kevin's father is at Indianapolis today. The only way he'd miss seeing his son play is the Indy 500. Hayes' shot is off. Loose ball, it'll be the Bullets again. They're getting too many shots, and Seattle knows it. Hayes will burn you every time.
The second and third shots will definitely kill Seattle. They cannot afford to let the Bullets come inside and play that strong of a game, and then plus get the ball and put it back up.
Webster with a high arch. Dick Mata telling the Bullets before the game, this is the most important game. We don't want to go back to Seattle trailing 2-1 with the next 2 games in Seattle. The Bullets are primed, and Seattle doesn't want to fall behind early. Look at Unseld to set the pick. Henderson uses that time. It's like an oak tree out there. Other sides. Hayes, he's moving it. Too much spin. John Johnson waits. Webster comes in 5-on-5. Greavy is taking Gus Williams. Webster almost lost the dribble. They could have called traveling that time, and they did not. Dandridge gives them but 1 shot. Bobby with the ball on the floor and the man in the middle. The Sonics back on defense. Dandridge forces it. Webster came. It's goaltending.
That's a good call that time by John Vanek. We'll watch the play coming up right here. Bobby Dandridge comes. Nobody stops him. That's where the big problem was. They allowed him to get the penetration. There's the ball coming, starting on its way down. A very good call. Defensive-wise, Seattle still not picking up the Bullets, forcing them outside. They've still got to get a little bit tougher on the defensive end if they expect to win this basketball game.
Promo have they got fired up this time, Sandra Law? Sports Spec, okay, we've got a good fight. I was over in Baltimore and I saw the signs on the bus. That's that Sugar Ray Leonard fight next Saturday. And they got him scheduled to go 10 rounds. Does anybody know how many times Unser's won the 500? How about this fighter that Sugar Ray Leonard is matched against? Anybody know anything about that? Is he a turkey?
No, he's gone quite a few fights. It said in the thing there.
21 and 8 or something like that.
21 and 8. Is his correct pronunciation Rodriguez? Rafael Rodriguez, welterweight. Okay, baby.
Yes, it is. Dancing Harry. That's That's him.
Gus Johnson would know.
Right on. I just got done talking with him. Crazy guy.
Turnaround for the first game.
Gus Johnson shows up for CBS, and one Dancing Harry be far behind. He's your personal cheering section, Gus. Hey, they mentioned that CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday. I was over in Baltimore, and the buses have got the big sign. Sugar Ray Leonard, a big favorite in Baltimore. Rafael Rodriguez, 21-8, may give him trouble. Here it is, Henderson to the jump shot for the Bullets. It'll go to the Sonics now with the score 19-16, Bullets up by 3.
A little lapse by Seattle there. You have to go set a screen for somebody, try and get a man open in that situation when they're pressing in the backcourt.
Greedy over on Dennis Johnson. Henderson with Gus Williams. Here's Sigma. Outside going to the shot. Still short. Webster with great reach in over at Wes Unseld. Something you don't do frequently. Now it's the Sonics going to work on the offensive glass.
Yes, and that's what has kept Washington in the ballgame. They're only shooting 36% at turnaround for the first two games they shot so well. Seattle shooting 46%, but the offensive boards have helped Washington.
The Sonics are clawing more on defense than they did Thursday night. Lenny Wilkins stressed that in practice both days here in Washington. Hayes will go one-on-one on Sigma. Drew the foul. Pushed as he went to the turnaround. Picked up by Vanek. 2 fouls, Sigma.
Simka should know that he cannot let Elvin come in there. He can shoot that shot on 7-footers. So why should you come in and let him post you, turn around and shoot a jumper, possibly 3-point play or a foul?
The only grandfather in the NBA has just checked in as Sigma goes out. Number 35, Paul Silas, his 18-year-old stepdaughter, gave birth to a daughter about 10 days ago. So congratulations to Grandpa Paul Silas, the 13-year veteran in the NBA, and a tower of strength for Lenny Wilkins and the Seattle SuperSonics this year. What a leader he is.
Only took him 1 second to get a rebound.
Yeah, right quick.
Here's John Johnson on the turnaround. Hayes muscles Silas out that time. Now you watch and see what Silas does against Hayes. He'll deny him that spot. He'll go down there and set up like a tree. Greg Ballard, 42, tough rookie from Oregon, coming inside now. Webster off his feet. Ballard battling back inside. John Johnson saved it. Here's Webster giving it up now to Dennis Johnson. It's Gus Williams from the left corner. Webster at the offensive end, up with a stop.
Well, there is some hot, heavy action going on under those boards. I'll tell you that. They are battling for their lives out there.
The best
They
first
are bumping their heads.
Reminds me of you in the 3-on-3 we played.
Great first quarter by both teams. Usually we have had the Bullets moving out all alone. Johnson with a marvelous block against Greavy from the corner.
That's excellent help right there by Dennis Johnson. Look at the fighting inside here. Marvin gets that, goes right back up and jams it right in your face and says, take this, E.
Wally Walker checks in, and Freddie Brown. Walker 42, Brown is 32, so John Johnson and Gus Williams go out. Dennis Johnson, Webster, Paul Silas, Freddie Brown, and Wally Walker on the floor against Wes Unseld, Paul Henderson, Greg Ballard, Kevin Greavy with the shot, and Elvin Hayes. Webster rebounds.
Freddie Brown, meanwhile, Brent, has only been shooting 39% over the last 4 ball games. So you probably expect him to break out of it before too long.
Webster on the run, off balance, put in the right-hander. He thought about the left-handed hook, and he went to the off-balance right-handed shot.
People 7 feet tall aren't supposed to do that, are they?
No, they're not.
And it puts Seattle up by 2 with 1:55 to go first quarter. Henderson comes through the funnel on the reverse layup. Hayes taps it back up and in.
They are really fighting inside. There are nothing that can be done out there. The Bullets have taken the boards on the offensive end. They're getting 3 and 4 shots, and they are eliminating Seattle from getting 3 and 4.
Right now, the Washington guards are really hurting the team. 1 for 10 shooting.
Webster went to the pick that time on Ballard and drew the foul.
Here's a previous hoop. Watch Elvin Hayes now. See him sneak to the inside. He gets good position right here. He's inside. Nobody's screening him. Paul Silas has to go to the defense to get the shot. Elvin right there with a great effort. 1 time, 2 times, gets it in the hole.
Charles Johnson, CJ 15, checks in. He'll work in the backcourt with Henderson. Brown will go with Henderson, and Dennis Johnson goes with Charles Johnson. Unseld picks Brown off. And Silas with a hand and stole the ball that was intended for CJ working the baseline, one of his favorite spots. The game is tied, 1:08, first period. Freddie Brown looking for a screen. Silas gives it to him, so does Webster. Tap back, but Brown regains possession. Hayes with a hand on it. It got past Unseld that time. Wilkins tells Freddie what to do. Goes to the right side and Paul Silas. Here's Wally Walker. He hit a quick 7 points in game 2. Gets inside Ballard. Unseld with the rebound. CJ breaks right wing. Ballard now in front of him. They'll set a play.
Right now, I feel that Washington should stop trying to force the ball inside Elvin Hayes and let the guards and some of the other guys get into the ball game right now. They're concentrating so hard on getting the ball and they're throwing it over.
Hayes on the move inside. Drew the foul by Walker.
Elvin working really hard.
Very good pass here. Hayes rolls down the key, goes in, and gets fouled right down inside, going up by Walker.
Officials calling the body contact very closely. There hasn't been a lot of whacking on the arms. Mostly the players are using their body, but the official's right on top of it.
Perhaps they've been watching the films.
The lead has changed hands 4 times. We've had 5 ties, and Elvin Hayes has thrown in 13 points, but he's yanked down 9 rebounds. That equals his entire output of Thursday night. And Jack Sikma is paying a price right now. He's holding the towel up to his left cheekbone. 24-22. Bullets with a field goal lead in last shot time coming up now. Larry Wright sticking with Brown. Freddie double pumping coming inside, and there was a foul.
There you see Jack Sikma sitting down, a little frustrated. He has not played well, as Brent has pointed out. Elvin Hayes picking up the foul. His 3rd personal. What a factor that could be. He is off to such a great start here in this basketball game. On the boards, as we pointed out, also scoring points.
That has hurt the Bullets quite a bit during the series, is that they have been getting into foul trouble all along.
And in this situation, Dick Motta will go to his bench. He will try to avoid real serious foul trouble before the half if he can.
Washington going to have to get a little more diversification in their offense. Right now, Elvin Hayes and Bobby Dandridge have accounted for 22 of their 24 points.
That's what I was just telling you a moment ago, Rick, is that they are looking too much to go inside, and the guards are stuck with the ball. If they can't get it, they wind up forcing it inside.
The guards right now are Wright and Johnson with the score tied and 8 seconds left in the first period. Wright will shoot it up outside, trying to get the perimeter game going. Silas off to Brown. Brown checks the clock at the buzzer, put it in the air. So we've come to the end of the first period, and Seattle is delighted with what has happened here. They have tied Washington at home after only 1 period. Yes, sir. Got it, babe. The other thing is, Chuck, how does the second place man pronounce his name? Is it Angayes? Angayes.
Angayes. Yeah.
Angayes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah, I think we got it straightened out. Now we don't have any problems with that first one.
Sandy, I'd like to talk a little about Mitch Kupchak when he's coming in. Angayes is?
Yeah, Angayes, the guy that crashed. He crashed. Remember? Angayes, the guy that crashed, had that real bad crash. He came back in.
Okay.
Demolished the car.
Hayes is squawking. Give me a foul sheet on 3s and 2s, okay? Give me a foul sheet for 3 and 2, okay? So I got some players down. probably the disclaimer coming up then, isn't it? I don't have a card. We're back to start the second period of this, the third NBA championship game, and you can see Mitch Kupchak has checked into the game for Dick Motta. He's 6'11", 235 pounds. Out of North Carolina, his second year in the NBA. Elvin Hayes will take a break with those 3 fouls. And that's what the two teams shot in the first quarter. So the Sonics defense tightened up, something that Lenny Wilkens preached here after the loss on Thursday night. Dandridge is back out. Webster to the left-handed roll hook shot. Wally Walker with an offensive rebound, and it's Kupchak now. Intercepted Webster, who anticipated the angle. But he made a bad pass. He gave it to Johnson thinking it was a teammate. Johnson gets it back. A mental mistake, but they don't give up a field goal. Now it's Dennis Johnson bringing it back for the Sonics.
I've had that happen to me. Sometimes you just swear that your man was there and it's the other team.
CJ, weren't you wearing green last time I looked? Here's Freddie Brown. Rights with him, came around and hooked him. No doubt about it. Right to the foul. Gus Williams led Seattle in scoring with 9 and Webster with 7 in the first period. CJ taking Dennis Johnson, Walker outside, and Unseld.
They ran a play, got the man wide open. He couldn't put the ball down.
Rebounding, even 19 boards apiece. Unseld sets up. Paul Silas leaning in left side. Webster stalking the middle off a Kupchak. Watching now in case anybody comes in. Now he jumps back. He's like a one-man zone defense there underneath. Marvin Webster, you just keep an eye on him. Kupchak will inbound. Webster was taken away the inside. Brown came over on CJ and fouled him.
We'll watch the play here. Inbound pass. Freddie Brown going over to try and get Charles Johnson. Look at the battle under the board trying to get position. In that situation, Freddie really, his defense was over once Charles Johnson went up to shoot the ball. He's not a shot blocker, and so many players love to block shots, and they go for attempts they have no business attempting.
CJ was a teammate of the injured Phil Chenier, the man he replaced on the Bullets roster, who is over there on Dick Motta's bench in civilian clothes. They were the guards at University of California out at Berkeley. I spoke to Phil Chenier prior to the game, and he's very confident that he'll be able to come back next year after a serious back problem. So they brought CJ in by a helicopter one night, and what a pickup he's been.
You don't think they're playing hard? 3 guys on the floor going for a rebound off a free throw.
Rick, I've seen more players on the floor in this series than any I have ever covered.
Very intense. They have been really going at everything.
There's Freddie Brown flying across the court and out of bounds.
Larry Rice picking up the foul there. Incredible contact going on, as we've pointed out. And it's a tough game to officiate when it's so physical out there.
Yes, it is, Rick.
Dennis Johnson with Unseld coming out, hit the shot on the right side. 10:29 first half. Jimmy the Greek will be at halftime. Kevin Greavy against Pistol Pete Maravich and Horse. That'll be coming up. Larry Wright, they gave him the left side. They invited him to go that way. Missed the shot. They must know something. 26-25. Sonics up on the Bullets by a point. Brown went to the inside. Silas couldn't have the offensive rebound that time, and so it'll be the Bullets now to the attack. Here's Mitch Kupchak. He's a fine shooter. Demonstrating it right there.
They're looking for some scoring from Mitch inside. Mitch hasn't played well during the playoffs at all, so they're hoping that he can come in and contribute something to this game.
Putting the Bullets back in the lead as we seesaw. Jack Sikma is up. Freddie Brown, right corner. Kupchak came up, and so too did Marvin Webster that time.
Here's an excellent foul right here. Coming in, shots taken outside by Freddie Brown. Webster goes after the ball. Also, Kupchak comes over right here and crashes. Doesn't look like it was very much of a foul.
I thought the final was today.
3 on 3? That's
Sunday.
Gus and I were playing this.
Next Sunday.
You won today, Gus?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Mata, I'll tell you, the 3 fouls have really affected the Bullets here this afternoon, because Mata will run his second quarter entirely depending upon fouls. It's the only quarter he really lets it affect him.
Well, when you play that physical, Brent, as the Bullets do, it's very difficult not to get in foul trouble.
Yeah. He's right. No, I'm fine. You all right, Gus?
Yeah.
I tell you, you can give a little play. Larry Wright isolating on Freddie Brown. He's just hanging all over him.
Good job, yeah.
Where is it? Oh, yeah, I want the shot. Can I have the shot? Yeah, can I have that shot? Huh?
The one it was bounced.
It's the battle cry. Write this one down in your cliche notebook, because it's destined to stay there. Only they've cleaned it up. The opera ain't over till the fat lady sings, is the way Dick Mata really said it when both the previous series were close but not yet over. And that has become the battle cry here in Washington for the Bullets. Sikma coming up to the glass, went to the offense.
And that's the first time that Jack Sikma has done that little peep look and put the ball on the floor and gone to the hoop. He was so effective with that in earlier series.
Dandridge quickly, and it is Kupchak drawing the foul as he comes up. John Johnson on the other side hit him.
Good hustle inside here by Kupchak to follow that ball, to get the rebound, and to be able to put it back up and hold. He got fouled there by Sipka on the way back up.
Foul was on Johnny Johnson. The guy they called him. He had his choice, and he chose to get Johnny Johnson.
Well, when you're an official, you can do that.
That's right.
Now you can see how Kupchak's field goal percentage has slipped during the playoffs. So far in this game, Seattle has hit 36% from the floor, and the Bullets 31%. I think that indicates just how tough the defense has been. I wouldn't want to indict the shooters out here. Both Gus and Rick have told you how tough it is. People are draped all over each other out here. John Johnson looking in, traveled as he put it back down. He wanted Dennis Johnson, but there was good inside coverage that time.
That's just what happened that time, Brent, is that the Bullets played excellent defense, forced everybody out of the position, overplayed, and he couldn't give the ball up to anybody.
That's what wins the championship series, the defense.
Freddie Brown will back up on Hayes. He knows that Elvin's back in the game. He'll try to help front him. Now CJ comes to the Hayes side, and a pull-up jump shot of his. John Johnson off to Freddie Brown. Brown brings it down, and the Sonics will set a play. Generally speaking, in the playoffs, the Sonics have been better on the attack when they can move it rather than set a play. Sikma was out to pick, and the Bullets were coming through like warriors that time. Jump shot from the corner and the foul over there, and that is exactly what we're talking about. Tommy Henderson all over Freddie Brown, not giving him any daylight.
And that's 4 team fouls now on the Bullets.
It's not a very smart move, defensive play to foul a man when he's shooting a 30-footer, though.
Dennis Johnson. And it's Dandridge off. Webster played 44 minutes Thursday night, and of course he is being rested right now here in the second period. So Hayes is back to work with Kupchak. Out of bounds, it'll go to the Bullets.
That time was good defense. They sent the guards over that time. They didn't let Dandridge back in, forced him to give it up, and Bobby's not the greatest passer in the world, and he threw that ball almost away.
Got some weak side help, as you mentioned, from their guards, and cut the passing lane off.
I have seen nothing in this series that would indicate superiority by one of these two teams, and I mean that deeply. I have never seen a series quite as even as this one is. Inside the Kupchak. Yanked down by Paul Silas.
He made a great pass that time. He just missed the easy basket, Kupchak.
Gus Williams on the double pump had just come in off the bench.
And that is Gus Williams at his best. Give him a wide open floor, and he'll heat you up every time.
He can go to that hoop.
He is 5 of 7 here. And the Sonics up by 2. Gus was giving it to Johnson outside and fronting Elvin Hayes. Johnson made him pay. You can watch the defense when they come down now and set up. Two men are taking Elvin Hayes. Williams to the attack. He feels everything right now.
Well, you can't stop Gus when he gets going like that. You're going to have to push him outside, get him about 20 feet, make him shoot the outside jumper. The penetration will kill the defense every time. Creates too many easy opportunities.
Hayes to the ball side. Johnson awaits him now. Sikma's there, too. It is Kupchak. Hayes picked up the loose ball.
Very good alertness by Elvin Hayes there. The pass was meant for Kupchak inside. He responded, grabbed the ball, and got 2 points.
Tied in Game 3 of the NBA Championship Series. Game 4 from the Kingdome, Tuesday night on CBS, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 o'clock on the Pacific Network. Sikma, foul call, Kupchak. I mentioned that game on Tuesday night in the Kingdome. We are expecting the largest crowd in the history of the NBA. The largest previous crowd was 35,000 in the Superdome.
The largest
single game.
Single game, okay. The doubleheader was the largest, right.
I'll go back in on that. I got the other side of this.
That's interesting. But of course, it was a different series situation. Counting ours, it was 2-2-1-1-1.
That's an interesting stat.
Yeah, but it was 2-2-1-1-1.
Oh yeah, the timing's all thrown off.
That's right. So it doesn't really.
Except that means that they're busting through on the road.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily.
No.
Not necessarily. I don't want to get into it.
No.
Well, I tell you, I just don't read these two teams. What they're eventually going to do. You know that?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, though. This is the way I thought it was going to be like this. This is great. Well, I'll tell you now, this is a better indication because both teams are playing good here. I mean, you know, they're playing tough. Both teams are working hard defensively, and this is the type of game you expect in that situation.
John Havlicek back out in Seattle. Does he come back out there?
Right.
All right, I mentioned that one record at the Superdome, 35,077. I know exactly what John Havlicek is thinking right now. That is the single-game record. The all-time attendance record was a doubleheader in 1969 down in the Houston Astrodome, 41,163 at the Kingdome on Tuesday night, and Havlicek will be out there to join us. We are expecting 44,000. I'm going to anticipate something. I'm going to anticipate some criticism by the media in Seattle because we're asking them to play at 6 o'clock. We faced it in San Francisco when the Warriors played the Bullets, and the people in San Francisco wound up truly enjoying it because you come to the game at 6 o'clock, and then afterwards you've got an entire evening to go out, and we had a lot of fun with it. The people in the East, we really can't ask everyone to stay up until 11 o'clock, so that's why we have that starting time, and we might as well get it right up in the open while we're doing it. It is 6 o'clock Pacific Tuesday night at 9 o'clock in the East, and I hope you're going to be with us. This is going to be a humdinger of a series. Henderson rolls one up on the run. Sikma, and now is Freddie Brown on the move. Off to the right side, and Gus Williams is alone. He's had the hot hand all game, and this, wouldn't you know it, they finally leave him all alone, and Gus misses a shot.
Invariably, that is exactly what will happen. And, of course, right now, the Washington Bullets are getting some really tough breaks on those in-close shots. They've had 3 or 4 of them that could have easily gone in, and that's hurting them right now.
Henderson to the left side, and Freddie Brown is there. Johnson keeping an eye on Dandridge. Goes underneath, stalking him. Dandridge looking for the screen to get free. It is Charles Johnson to the right side. Silas on the switch. C.J. misses. Silas to the rebound. Now it's a foot race. Williams and Henderson. And he lost his dribble. He's turned it over. He couldn't control the ball.
Good call by Earl there. The officials was right on top of the call. The fans were calling it before he blew the whistle, though.
How close has this game been? The large by either team, 3 points. It's 1 right now. Sonics inside, knocked away Sonics. Out of bounds, 34. It is 2 points, 34-32, 1 field goal difference.
Big factor on the rebounds right now. Seattle leading by 3 rebounds, 26-23. They lost the rebounding battle in the second game, lost the game, won it big in the first game, and were able to win. So the board's a big factor. We'll keep a close eye on it.
5-second violation. He couldn't get the ball in bounds. There's the turnover to the Sonics.
And it shows you the intensity being on the part of both teams. A lot of pressure out there, and this is the way you expect playoff competition to be. This is by far the best game so far in this series. Both teams working hard out there on both ends of the floor.
I would agree with you, Rick.
Freddie Brown. Hayes popped out on him, but Brown had time. 4 points, the largest lead of the game with 5:30 to go first half, and Wes Unseld will come in back for the Bullets. Foul away from the ball.
Okay, the same thing happened in the second game. They put Wes on the bench. He sat there in the second quarter. Seattle SuperSonics battled back, took the lead from him. What can you say about the big fella?
He's a very unselfish player. He does so many things out there. As Brent pointed out, when he doesn't score, he's doing something else to be a positive factor.
Dandridge turns around on John Johnson. Free ball, Kevin Greavy regains control. Here's Henderson. John Johnson is right there with Dandridge. Greavy gets free. And it'll be Seattle's ball. Sikma has been playing with more fire since he came off the bench. Good tap by Silas, and Johnson couldn't hit the layup. Greavy gets it to Henderson. Sikma is there awaiting him. Hayes can't control. Brown is down with the ball. 4:57 first half.
It is getting hot and heavy out here, fellas.
They can't get anything to go in there, but they got to keep plugging. They can't stop. Eventually it has to fall.
Sikma field goal. Gus Johnson's getting itchy over here. He wants to put something on that knee of his and get out there and bang some bodies.
I love it.
Dandridge pops out to the top of the circle. Fake left, went right. Double team. Hayes with a hand on it. He's had a hand on every ball underneath. Now it's Gus Williams to the attack. Williams looks for the daylight and gave it up to Unseld. Now it's Dandridge back. Johnson awaits him. Brings Sikma with him. Dandridge slides inside, and Jack Sikma is there. John Johnson calling signals, and Dandridge got it done.
Very smart move by Bobby D. Come down, he delayed, he waited, made it simple to commit himself, and got the easy 2 points.
Well, we've got a timeout being called by Seattle, Rick, and this is the game we expected all along.
No question about it. This is a very important game for Washington. They have to win to put some pressure back on Seattle.
Yes, sir. Hey, Chuck. I had my Wheaties. I'm ready. The Sonics lead in rebounding right now, 29-25. Oh, the guards. Oh, we got a big stat here. Sandy, we got a 2 of 20 by the Bullet guards right now. Just what Gus pointed out about them trying to force the ball inside, but when they're going outside, they're not getting any firepower at all. Gee, he might switch. He's got 1 of 9. I can give you all 4 of them if you want them.
Probably Henderson and Greavy.
Think Greavy will stay, Gus?
Probably.
Yeah, hey, this is great. I mean, that was just a bad headset. This is super. Jesus, that thing was terrible.
You're right.
Well, you're sharp today.
I thought I was in the Grand Canyon, I swear to God.
Keep her on the other side. Don't let her close to me. She'll come over here and hit me with that microphone. We're counting on you to get Lenny Wilkins now when he gets inside that huddle in the 4th period. She's our main lady. Boy, I'll tell you that Chuck Milton is sneaky. He gets an attractive girl, puts her with the microphone and says, get inside that huddle, lady.
How about after the 5th quarter?
Done. Oh, yeah, let's play 2 overtimes. We got a golf. No, save that one for the golf term. No, we'll go today, too. The Kemper Open. Milton ought to know better than to ask me to talk about the Kemper Open. They'll have to pay me to give a spot for that one. I'll let them send... Did you hear that? Back in Landover, Maryland, as you look at Kevin Greavy, one of the Bullet guards, and Gus Johnson told you he thought Washington was forcing the ball inside too much. Their guards right now are 2 of 20. Henderson 1 of 9. Greavy 0 of 5. CJ 1 of 4. And Wright 0 of 2. Trouble in the backcourt.
Yes, they're shooting 29% as a result of that 42 for Seattle. But again, they're only trailing 1 in the field goals. Those offensive boards has helped them tremendously, giving those extra opportunities. So they've stayed close. So Bullets have to feel good. Their offense isn't going well, but they're right there.
And like you say, defense will take care of the offense eventually.
Sigma with a miss. Tap back up by Silas.
Guy just simply amazes me what he does out there.
40-34. Earl Strom with the foul. The whistle underneath that time. We've got 3 team fouls against the Sonics. The Bullets, of course, are already in the penalty.
Boy, here Greavy comes down with the ball. He goes inside to Hayes. And he and Silas are getting it on down in there, that's all.
And that was the first foul, Gus, against Silas up here at this end. He's already yanked down 7 rebounds. Look at that underneath.
Webster threw one to one of the Bullet guards, so Unseld comes back and gives it back to Seattle.
Oh, what a bad break there for Washington. Elvin Hayes couldn't stop himself from running down the floor and ran into Freddie Brown. 4 fouls. We'll watch the play again. Freddie Brown will come down and stop. Now watch E, the left of your screen. He'll come into the picture. Here he is. He can't stop. Runs right into him. What a bad break for Washington.
Hayes has not been in the offensive rhythm that he demonstrated in the game since the break on the bench when he had the 3 fouls. 3:31 to go in the half. Motto's got Hayes out there with 4, and I wouldn't. Yes, sir. Here he comes. Kupchak's got to get up. They cannot risk have Hayes go in at the intermission. I don't think with 5.
Bad enough with 4. I'm surprised you didn't get him in before the free throws. He's liable to get another one before he gets in the game.
Because he'll be definitely looking for that basketball now because he knows, oh, boy.
Freddie Brown on the steal. Or the layup.
I think Freddie was mad. He missed 2 free throws. He's the best free throw shooter on the club. Here he comes up with a big play. Good anticipation, and Freddie is noted for that.
Sonics' biggest lead. 3 minutes. First half. Game 3. Championship series even at a victory apiece. Game 4 Tuesday night from the Kingdome. Greavy outside. Still hasn't hit one. Webster couldn't control. Hayes has got it back. Hayes to the shot. That's how important Elvin Hayes is to the attack.
He loves the pressure, I swear. I believe he strives off of pressure. He does it on the offense. He doesn't come back as hard on the D.
Gus, he should shoot the jump shot at the free throw line, though, in the last 2 minutes and ask somebody to stick a hand in his face. I think he'd be allowed.
Probably.
Here's Gus Williams now going left side. Freddie Brown to the jumper. Bounce right to Elvin. Mata says, E, I'd like to get you out, but you're doing so much. Just keep going. Silas with Bobby D. Here's Tommy Henderson putting, and Webster goaltending. The second goaltending call.
Here's the play again. Marvin's right there. You see Paul trying to play good, tough defense. Good bounce pass that time by Danish to Henderson low. Gus a little late getting over. Here's the shot. Marvin should have taken 1 step out before then. There's the ball going down. If he had taken 1 step out and gone up, he would have had a clean block.
Hayes has scored 18 points, yanked down 13 rebounds. Clock is not officially stopped for substitutions, so Kupchak and CJ could not come in after that goaltending call. And also the Sonics have got possession right now, so they couldn't come in anyway. Brown. 44-38 and 1:55 left. First half.
Lenny Wilkins, I think, was going to take Freddie Brown out. He hit the shot. He had Dennis Johnson sit back down.
He knows he's due.
Greavy gets inside Sigma, and the foul called against Williams, but there was fire in young Jack Sigma's eyes. Rick Barry, I think he's coming alive.
Excellent move down here. He goes down baseline with the ball, goes up, he pulls 2 men. Simka comes back to help, and he gets a foul by Gus Williams.
And there again, the foul with the body, not with the arms. The officials being very cognizant of that fact.
Excellent help by Simka coming from the strong side to help.
Hayes sits down. Greavy is 0 of 7 from the field. There is no question but that Kevin Greavy has been bothered by that sprained ankle.
I noticed when he was over there on the bench, when he was substituted for, he had an ice pack on that right knee of his, so evidently that's causing him some problem, something that we're not all that aware of.
Al Unser trying to win his 3rd 500 on the lead. Danny Ngaias in 2nd, and Tom Sneva, the man who started from the pole position, is in 3rd. Rebounding for the game. Seattle leading by 1. Oh, Henderson came over to cut Williams off, and he just fouled it.
Well, the fans don't like that one because they saw Tommy falling off the court, but Tommy was moving on the play. It was a good call by the official. He was late getting there. We'll watch the play right here. Here comes Gus very quick. Now watch Henderson. He's late. He's already beaten. There he is. He's on the move. He makes a contact with the body.
And he gives a little act right there when Gus put his left arm up. But he was late. Gus had beaten him.
Now, when the bullets come down, Marvin Webster is awaiting Wes Unseld, Mitch Kupchak, and the other big men as you see a reminder of what we got at halftime. The Pepsi Hot Shot Finals. Wait till you see some of these youngsters. You'll also meet the CBS Coach of the Year. Jimmy the Greek will be along live, coming up at halftime. I was saying Marvin Webster's awaiting Wes Unseld. Wes Unseld gave Marvin Webster some basketball lessons when Marvin was only 14, living in the Baltimore area. Kevin Greavy against, or the Kupchak against the double team.
Very good hoop by Mitch.
So Unseld, one of Webster's teachers, and here's the student against him trying to beat him. Bobby Dandridge down there on the baseline. Williams trying to come the funnel.
Well, when you make the move and try to go to the hoop, you're going to create circumstances out there where contact is going to become a big factor. And if the officials are calling it close like they have been, it's wise to try to keep on doing it. And this is exactly what Gus Williams is taking advantage of.
Did a good job of it, too, because I feel that Bobby Dandridge had cut the baseline out if he'd established his position there.
Dick Motta checking the clock. 1 minute and 11 seconds. The Sonics up by 5.
Of course, the big problem there was the fact that Tom Henderson let Gus get by him. And if you let a guard get on the forward, you're going to have a lot of problems.
All night.
Kupchak off to Henderson. 16 points for Gus. Williams almost made the steal. Gamble. Here's Kupchak at the last field goal.
They've been looking for help from Nick. They've been expecting him to score something. Maybe this afternoon, it's his afternoon.
But he was wise. He went inside first, got himself started in close. Now the outside is there because the confidence is built up.
Sikma up against Kupchak, and now it is Sikma.
So the man we said has to play well for Seattle is starting to come a little bit alive. He and Kupchak having a good battle.
Bobby Dandridge. Brown jumped out in the double team. That left Henderson alone. Created the three-point play.
I tell you, he paid the price for it, too. He's down on the floor. He got hit pretty good in the stomach. Probably knocked the wind out of him. I'm sure he's going to be okay. We'll watch the play coming up right here. Here's Henderson wide open. Good pass to the open man. Webster over. Right in there. Gets hit right in the ribcage. You can see there. I don't know who was it that got it. Looked like Paul Silas. We got another angle on it. Here we'll watch the play again. Webster will go over to pick Henderson up, who's open. Good ball movement by the Bullets. Here he comes, Paul Silas right there with the body. Also Sikma banging him. He got hit by 3 men, so the official could have picked anybody.
Henderson can cut it to 2 as he checks the clock.
Once again, though, Brent, I think an important factor, even though a foul was there, it shows you the intensity that Seattle's playing with on defense. They had 3 guys going after that open man, and they did not do that in the last ball games for much of the game, and that really had hurt them.
You can tell just by looking at the jerseys out here how intense this game is. Paul Silas, there's not a dry spot on number 35 right now. Last 18 seconds. Sonics working with the clock. And a field goal lead. Webster out to pick. Brown elects to go inside. Wanted it all alone. Silas trying to keep it alive. Webster, but there's a buzzer. We have come to the end of the first half of Game 3 of the NBA World Championship Series. The series is even at a game apiece. In Game 3, the Sonics lead the Bullets by 2 points. Stay right here for this Pepsi Hot Shot. You might have something to say. Just the only thing is, keep an eye on the monitors as we do it.
I think a good point to bring up, guys, would be when we come back in there, if we get time at halftime or maybe at the start of the 3rd quarter, is the
all summer and playgrounds across the country, and one is very medals of competition. They are the best. More than 2 1/2
I think a good point to bring up, guys, would be when we come back in there, if we get time at halftime or maybe at the start of the 3rd quarter, is the fact that the Washington Bullets have allowed the officiating to affect their play. As a player, you got to adjust to what they're doing. They're calling it close. They should be going and trying to take advantage and get that penetration, try to get to the line. Instead, they're so mad and upset with things that they're letting it bother them. They're just
Hey, Moy.
The guards are shooting from the outside. They're not getting the penetration like Henderson did right there. They haven't had that as much. The most free throw they've gotten a free throw, the guards, penetration. That's where they've really been calling them. This is good. This is a good game.
Oh, very good.
30-30. Boards. Battle of guys.
Yes, sir. I have got my Pepsi Hot Shot script sitting right here. All right, this afternoon at halftime, we're going to present the national finals of the Pepsi-Cola NBA Hot Shot.
That's where they've really been calling them. This is good. This is a good game.
Oh, very good.
30-30. Boards. Battle of guys.
Yes, sir. I have got my Pepsi Hot Shot script sitting right here. All right, this afternoon at halftime, we're going to present the national finals of the Pepsi-Cola NBA Hot Shot program live. And the finalists here have competed since early summer in playgrounds across the country. They are the best of more than 2.5 million boys and girls who entered Pepsi Hot Shot this year. The Hot Shot game is a 1-minute race against the clock. A competitor scores points by shooting from special hot spots on the floor. Each hot spot, as you see on the screen, has a different point value depending upon distance and angle. The hot spot at the top of the key is worth 5 points. Our first competition will be girls 9 to 12. In the blue, representing the Eastern Conference, is Sandy Harding from Auburn, New York. In the white, representing the Western Conference, is Sandy Spears from Indianapolis. Now they'll have 1 minute. There they go. The little girl on the right, Rick Barry, has been a delight to watch. I have captured her act across the country, and I saw her hit 10 field goals in a row one afternoon. She's working on 4 right now.
Jimmy the Greek loves her, too.
Now, of course, the girl over here that you see, Sandy Spears, she's the Western representative. She trails Sandy Harding 67-59. Sandy Harding representing the Braves over there on the right-hand side. Missing that 3-point try. There's a 2-point shot for Sandy. Sandy Harding from the West is over on the left-hand side. She played 6th grade basketball this year.
Looks like they're both warming up now, Brent.
Last 15 seconds, Rick. We'll be totaling up the scores from the judges. We'll have all the winners between the 3rd and 4th periods here. It's going to be close. Our second competition, boys 13-15. In the blue, representing the Eastern Conference, Phil Gwizdowski from Cleveland, Ohio. In the white, representing the West, is Troy Fonts from Holt, Missouri. Now, Phil from the East in the blue, 101.96, is trailing Troy. Troy's score of 101 was the highest scored in the Western Finals. He's in the white, so he had the hot hand as you take a look at him coming into this. He won the boys 9-12 crown last year. He's our only defending champion here this afternoon. 35 seconds of the minute left. There at the other end is competition going hard. Phil Gwizdowski from Cleveland. Boy, I imagine, Rick, that they feel the pressure in something like this with a sellout crowd and an NBA championship here.
No question about it. They were warming up before the ball game. They shot a lot better, but when you have 19,000 people out here watching you, it takes them a little while to get loose.
Goes for the 5-pointer. He hit it outside. Phil Gwizdowski trying to close here with a rush. 9 quick points. Excellent conclusion by Phil. That's going to be close. The final competition you'll see today is boys 16-18. In the blue, representing the East, is Joe Stakowitz from Buffalo. In the white from Oakland is Kevin Eason. He is representing the West. Joe came into the finals leading Kevin in the white by only 1 point, 86-85.
Right there, Kevin on the left hit that long shot for 5 big ones. He pulled right in the lead in the first shot.
Rick, that's what they practice out here prior to the game. Is right at the opening music, they go and shoot the 5-pointer. He's hot. Stakowitz, he's out of the Buffalo area. He's a senior at Kensington High School up in Buffalo, 17 years old.
Kevin moving up on him. Kevin's only missed but 3 shots.
He's out of your area, Rick. Senior at Oakland High School in the Bay Area.
Well, then I got the pull for him.
Come on, you got to be impartial.
Only during the regular game, contrary to what other people think.
And again, we'll total up the scores, and we'll have all the winners for you between the 3rd and 4th periods. And if you want to play in a hot shot program this summer, contact your local Department of Recreation or other participating youth organizations. Still to come, the CBS NBA Coach of the Year and Jimmy the Greek as the NBA on CBS returns after these messages from your local stations. Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, that would be a little tough to have to just do.
Greek, jump in here. Headsets, or what do we use with, what's next, big guys? Does Chuck want me on a hand mic with Uncle James? Okay, boys, give me a hand mic over here. Where's the audio man? 7, 8 minutes? Okay, Jimmy, what do you got, babe?
They're going to do it behind the desk here or out in the court?
Yes, sir. Oh, I'll go out on the court. Yeah.
If you can ask someone, if possible, I know you're busy as hell, but if somebody can bring some ice out here, I'd certainly appreciate it. Can you get some ice? A cup of ice, a couple of cups?
Are we going from the floor?
Oh, thank you. Okay. I was talking to the stage manager. Hey, Musburger, got your earpiece in? Yeah. What? Oh, yes.
From Georgia, representing the
defense. For sure. Oh, no, no, no. You are the worst. Oh. Right. Thank you. Hey, where was your wife? I thought she was going to come out with me. Oh. Big time, big time.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Moss, I just want to say I appreciate you.
Hello, hello.
You must have had a weak moment that you let me say a few words during that halftime.
As Barry's complaining about his airtime. Is he beautiful?
I'm not complaining about it. I just said he must have had a weak moment to allow me to be involved with that.
Gus has been taking him right out of the action, Sandy. Gus just takes him to the offensive glass and goes boom. He really did. That's right here. Here we are at halftime with the Seattle SuperSonics leading. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. There's something at what? Okay. Okay. Rick, how much time do we have with Jimmy, Chuck? Okay, can we do a little, we got enough time for rehearsal? Jimmy, here we are, Seattle leading at halftime, and Marvin Webster, I've said that he's going to stay in Seattle. What do you think?
Well, I talked to him early this morning, and he said he's not thinking about anything except beating Washington at this moment.
You know, Jimmy, we go back out to the Kingdome Tuesday night. Seattle hasn't played there. Does that affect their home court advantage, all those people?
They're going to have 35,000 people there. 45. That's not bad. But the floor is the same, but the surroundings of the floor would make a point difference, maybe.
I see. All right. Which way? Be careful what you say on that.
Well, what do we do about that?
What do you say? Say, Brent, we don't know how much of a home court advantage it is. It might not be as big as the Coliseum. What do you hear around
here?
here?
Say a point, though.
Huh? Chuck, I'm going to have a very hard time hearing you. Yeah, I'll have a hard time, too, as long as he cues me. You better... Greg? Jimmy, what do you hear from the New England Patriots and those linemen, Hannah and Gray?
Well, they're not going to cause as much trouble as they did last year. Hannah is definitely ready to sign. Gray is too far apart, and he's been put on a trading block.
You changed your mind yet about the Triple Crown for a firm? Have you heard anything that would lead you to believe that Ali Dar might catch him?
He'll try to catch him, but he won't pass him.
All right. That is coming up on... I'm sorry? Yeah. Yeah, got it. Okay. I think that... Anything else?
I don't care.
We'll talk Marvin. Talk Kingdome. Talk to him.
This is... I'll force this one, Kevin Laurie, to say anybody that finds it in the net.
Okay. We got a couple minutes.
Good for him. Good for him. He just looked at me and said, I ain't thinking about nothing right now except beat Washington. I love living up there, though. by the additional crowd.
Sure.
And then it takes the point away from us. Or do you want to, or could we say the point? Doesn't bother me. I just shut my mind out. Just look at you. That's what we need. Live television.
Stand by. And here at halftime, let's check in with one Jimmy the Greek. You know, Greek, I have said earlier that I thought Marvin Webster would stay in Seattle. You were checking with Marvin. Do you agree?
I talked to him this morning, and he said he's not thinking about anything until after they beat the Bullets. But he does love his new home in Seattle.
Of course, here in Game 3, they lead by 2 at halftime. Game 4 is at the Kingdome. Jimmy, does the home court advantage mean as much in a new arena as it would in the Seattle Center Coliseum?
It really shouldn't mean as much, but you're going to have 20,000 more people, so that'll make up for it.
You believe 45,000 in there on Tuesday night?
That'll be great.
Oh, what a night that's going to be. And, of course, 9 o'clock in the East, 6 o'clock Pacific Network. Jimmy, let's switch gears and go back to the NFL. I hear that the New England Patriots may be dangling a lineman.
Well, Hannah and Gray, of course, was the trouble last year. Hannah's within a whisper, Brent, of signing a contract. Gray is too far apart, so they put him on a trading block.
Can I talk you out of Affirmed winning the Triple Crown?
There is no way that anybody's going to talk me out of Affirmed. Affirmed and Alydar will put on another great race, but Alydar will not pass him.
I have to tell you that back in January, Jimmy the Greek said we may have back-to-back Triple Crown winners Affirmed, and he hasn't budged. And on the afternoon of June 10th, Jimmy the Greek will be at Belmont along with Jack Whitaker and the rest of our crew, and you will see coverage as Affirmed goes bidding for the Triple Crown that last year was won by Seattle Slew. And of course, here in Landover, Maryland, shortly we're going to be starting the second half. Washington and Seattle. The series is tied at a game apiece, and the SuperSonics leading here 49-47.
saved him, didn't it? Just like it saved Seattle in the first half.
Yes, sir.
Starting to eat with 4 fouls.
Landover, Maryland. I'm Brent Musburger with Gus Johnson and Rick Barry. Gentlemen, any observations as we begin the second half?
Well, we take a look at the statistics. You can see right there, it's a very interesting situation. The offensive rebounds have really kept Washington in the ball game, Gus.
That's been the only thing that's helped them right now at this point, Rick. The simple fact is they have no scoring from the outside at all. Their guards are not doing very much at all. Plus, they're depending too much on the big guys down inside.
And despite what the crowd reaction has been, 16 free throw attempts for Seattle, 15 for Washington. Very close there.
There's the Seattle individual scoring. Williams with 16, Sigma with 10. He scored 12 all of Thursday night's game. Sonics on the attack. Dennis Johnson, West switches off to him. Sigma, the second half's first shot, Unseld. Outlet for Tom Henderson. Elvin Hayes starts the third quarter with 4 personal fouls. That would be the most important foul statistic to keep in mind. Unseld looks in for the open man. But they still stay at the perimeter as the Sonic defense is keeping the Bullets outside. Dandridge.
That was excellent defense that time by Seattle. Bobby Dandridge just took John Johnson one-on-one and made a really fine offensive effort.
And with it, another tie in game 3. Unseld knocks it away. Marvin retrieves. Running left-hander. Marvin Webster hit it on the move and felt he was also fouled on the drive. No whistle. Reeves' pass out of bounds off Seattle.
Here's the basket. Look at Marvin Webster. Elvin Hayes lost sight of the ball right there. You could see he was a little late in trying to react. When he turned his body, there's where Webster thought he might have gotten the foul. But he lost the ball, and that's why he was not able to be in the help situation.
Elvin Hayes comes up firing.
What can you do with a guy shooting the ball like that, friend? He gets the ball, he turns around, he shoots it right in your face.
Webster at the Seattle end has gone to work.
You pointed out at the top of the show, he's going to have to do more offensively. He certainly is being much more active on the offensive end of the floor here this afternoon.
I'm wondering if the Bullets are going to get their guards off into this basketball game at all this afternoon.
They don't have the penetration they had in the game the other evening when they won.
Dish to Hayes. Play by Green.
There's the penetration that Rick's been talking about. They have got to do this so as Webster and the big man Simpson can help out, and that's what happened there, and they dished it off.
It'll go to Washington.
Here it is right here. They move the ball around. Greavy goes in. The whole defense collapsed. They give the ball off to E. E comes in for the slam dunk.
Timeout has been called by the Seattle SuperSonics. Game is all even at 53. Washington will have the ball when you come back.
Hey, that's great timing.
Right on.
Couldn't have been better.
No.
You ask about the guards, talk about the penetration, and they do it.
Sports.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, let me run that back a second. Run that back just a second here. A little further. Keep going. All right, right there. Okay. Now run it. Now, go ahead, run it. Now I can show. Go ahead, let it run it forward. All right, here he comes. Now what happens? Gus sees the ball right there. If Gus had dropped in and gotten in front of E and screened him off, he might have been able to stop that play. You want to stop the inside play. We can talk. That's a good play to show back if you have time. With the ball on the weak side of the floor, Gus does not have to fight around the screen. He should have taken the short route across the screen here because he doesn't have to play Henderson out there. He's not an outside shooter.
You have to shoot the jumper, too. Henderson will have to shoot the jumper. Rather have the jumper than the layup.
If we have the time. Yeah, they're out in the court. It's good. It's a good play. That's a good play if I could do it right now. Can't do it. Okay. Let's hold it and see if we get a dead ball right here. It'd be a good situation. If we get a dead ball right now, nice burn it.
Sugar Ray Leonard will be looking for his 11th straight on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Pressure by the Sonics. They drop back now. Dennis Johnson goes to Greavy, and Gus Williams goes with Tom Henderson. That's the matchups in the backcourt. Greavy wants to go in. He was open momentarily, and they didn't see him on the pass. Bullets wheel perimeter. Hayes forced that shot that time. Sigma off to Gus Williams. Williams looks for daylight, and Henderson took it away. Marvin Webster. Cross court, John Johnson quickly to Sigma. Unseld had sealed off Webster and rebounded. Henderson to the middle. Offhand, Sigma rebounds again.
He just can't get one to fall. He's been the one that's attempting to do the penetrating, but it won't go in the hole for him.
Webster screens. Now Dandridge is back with Williams, and it is Marvin Webster.
Good play that
field
time.
goal.
Here's this last play that happened when he got the big dunk. Now, Gus Williams goes around the screen. He should have taken the short route with the ball on the opposite side, then dropped in and cut the easy man off, Elvin Hayes, and he didn't do it.
On a steal, it's Gus Williams right back for the Sonics. And he was fouled. A chance for a three-point play. Perhaps out of frustration, Tommy Henderson is encountering some problems.
That could very well be, Brent. A lot of times that will happen when you think you're doing the right thing and nothing works for you. Here's the play coming up right here. Henderson hits Wesley Unseld, bounces away. Now Gus on the good move. Let's take a look and see if he does walk with the ball. One, two. It looks like Gus might have traveled, so a big break for Seattle. Henderson tried to get out of the way, so tough break that time for the Bullets. Certainly looked like the play went to Seattle.
It's a 4-point Seattle lead. They had hit free throws than Washington at the half, and of course the difference was 2 points. On the road, free throws become even more critical.
Well, what's happening here now, Brent, is that they're standing around looking for E and Bobby D inside, and the whole offense just stalls.
And Greavy missed the shot that time, Gus. Sigma dishes John Johnson. That flat shot. Henderson in the middle. Seattle back on defense. Wes Unseld a little slow coming down. There he is. The big fella. Hayes ricochets off Sigma. Blocking foul called and no shot on it. He did not get the shot off in time.
Very tough call here for Earl Strong. I think the call could have went out of the way. It looks as if Simca had position. We'll watch and see right here on this play. Unseld makes the pass in. Right here, it looks as if he's established, but he was moving his left foot, and the call goes against him.
Henderson, pretty shot that time.
Again, the penetration, he's getting inside, and this is what Lenny Wilkens does not want to see happening.
After 180 laps, Al Unser leading the pole man, Tommy Sneva, Steve Krisaloff. Here we just had a traveling call. The ball will go to the Bullets on the turnover. It's 57-55. Sonics by 2 and 7:57 to go. Turnovers for the game. Seattle 11, Washington 6. Sigma battles to stay with Hayes. Hayes goes to the weak side. Dandridge comes up firing on John Johnson. And he bounces.
When you're shooting it like that, you have the confidence, you know it, you've got the open shot. Why not take him down and take it?
What John Johnson's going to have to do is overplay him, not allow him to get the ball. That's a tough position to allow the offensive man to have it.
This game has been tied for the 14th time. Dennis Johnson. Lead pass to Anderson from Hayes. Sikma waits him. Here's Kevin Gravy, and Dennis Johnson came flying over to block it.
That's his third block of the game, and he's done it all on individual effort.
Good, strong, hustling guard.
Here's the play again. Again, Henderson starting to go for the penetration, pitches out to the open man. Good, smart move. There's Dennis Johnson. Good play.
And Gravy hits the field goal. That puts the Bullets up 59-57. Gus Williams coming down. Henderson assessed the personal. The Washington bench doesn't believe it any more than Tommy does.
Excellent double team here by the Bullets, whereas they jumped out to help Gus Williams, and he did get the foul on him. He hacked him on the arm.
Henderson went down. Greavy went over on John Johnson. Unseld and Hayes were there sealing it off.
Johnny Johnson could have dropped the ball to his teammate. Dennis was wide open.
Hayes, and it is Sikma to the rebound.
I think he wanted a foul there, Brent.
We've got a timeout called by Lenny Wilkins and the Seattle SuperSonics.
Well, right now, Lenny Wilkins trying to get his team to settle down a little bit. They're a little helter-skelter out there. They've thrown the ball away, made some turnovers. He wants to make sure that they try to get a good shot every time down the floor.
Sandy, you should see the fans over there behind the scoring table. There's a lady over there just giving it to Earl Strong. She just sat down. She was just yelling at him.
This is any indication. Maybe the Bullets are running out of gas. That dog is walking after the ball. Tiny usually runs like hell after. He's walking after it.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. Tiny's been around as long as I have, man. So I know he's probably old, too.
And here's Brent Musburger conducting an interview before the game.
Oh, yeah. Not me. Give me that picture. I want the clown, Sandy.
There's a clown there. He's an idiot. It takes a lot of gall to come do something like that. You know that? So, it's definitely up.
I'm somewhat surprised, Rick and Gus. Our producer, Chuck Milton, generally stays in the truck.
Excellent. Good humor.
The circus is in town. That's why the clowns are at courtside. 6:37 to go in the third. Sikma hands it to Dennis Johnson on the weave, and he missed the layup. Bullets come back down on the attack. Dandridge cut off by Jack, and Wilkins screaming that he turned it over down there, that there was an infraction. Cross court to Hayes. Here's Dandridge working low. And Greavy blocked by Webster.
I don't know if Kevin could see it there, but this time down inside, Uncle was wide open. If they'd have dished the ball off to him, if Dandridge would have hit him with it. Here we come with the play right now. Greavy seizing. Webster blocks it off right here. Uncle was wide open on the inside. He had Simba on his back.
Unseld will inbound. 6:13, third period. Hayes from the weave. Forced that one against the double team. Dandridge cleaned up.
They all froze there when the buzzer went off. Nobody reacted but Bobby D.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, Gus. You know that.
Henderson looks for the pick over right shoulder. Williams tosses John Johnson. Webster gets the unselled bump and grind. Misfired. Here's Henderson in the middle. Bobby Dandridge got Johnson on the move. Spun out. Hayes tap, but it's Gus Williams. Unseld awaits him. Williams pulls up. John Johnson with a great effort, but too much of an effort. Loose ball foul.
I would say 9 times out of 10, official will make that call when a guy comes from behind. Gus pulls up, makes the good play, rather than taking it into the big guy on. Still takes the jumper. Now watch that, Johnny Johnson. He hits the ball. There's a little bit of incidental body contact. Official makes the call.
Bullets can seize a 6-point lead as Freddie Brown takes off his warm-ups. Traveling.
And that's what'll happen a great many times. If they send that guard over to Bobby Dandridge, it causes a lot of problems for him. He has to try and give the ball up. He wasn't able to handle pressure that time.
All Silas checks in, and John Johnson goes out. So Silas and Brown enter as a team here in Game 3. They did it earlier in the first half. Dennis Johnson put it down on Greavy. They're taking advantage of that ankle.
Excellent move. He come down the baseline, went in, they cut it off. He reversed with his hand, shot it in left hand. A very beautiful move.
They isolated against Greavy. Here's Hayes in low on Sigma. Greavy gets it back. Webster's right there. And it won't go. Sigma off for Seattle. Here's Brown. Seattle can tie it again. Brown to the corner with Dandridge. Dennis Johnson coming up. Knocked away by Greavy. Silas with a hand on it. Out of bounds for Washington.
Grant, you can't say that the breaks aren't going both ways. Both teams having a tough breaks as far as the easy shots inside, handling the ball, bouncing the wrong way. Seems to be evening out.
This game has been like this right from the start. Dandridge.
He's still bit out of his range right there, but he's scoping it well.
Bullets ahead again by 4. 4 minutes and 5 seconds for the third period. 18 for Dandridge and 22 for Hayes. Unseld watching Marvin. Webster hit his first 3 field goal shots. Dandridge off to Greavy. Here's Henderson.
Well, what's happening right now, Brent, is just like it's supposed to be. The Bullets defense is dictating their offense to them now.
Brown with the ball on the floor, got it past Dandridge. Wanted to hit Webster. Silas missing. There's Marvin.
That's
Also
one way of making sure you take the easy one. Good defense that time by Seattle to initiate that play. We had the block down the other end of the floor. Then Freddie Brown comes up right over here, tries to make the pass. Greavy with good defense. Silas with the easy shot, doesn't get the finger roll up. Marvin gets it, goes up, gets whacked in the arm, and dunks it through.
Tapped right back to Webster by Silas. Silas taps a free ball. Generally, he knows where it's going. He's got an idea. He just doesn't hit it. Hayes on Brown, so they go to Sigma. And Greavy, as they make the switch, was matched up against Sigma, and about all he could do was just hold on. What he did.
He did it right in front of the official, too, and he was so obvious with it. Well, watch the player. Now watch Greavy. Right there, he's just banging him, and he's banging him again. He's banging him again.
Dennis coming the corner on Kevin. Greavy wouldn't stay down. Larry Wright went to the ball, and it'll go to the Bullets.
What happened is Dennis Johnson went out of bounds after the ball rolled out. He came back in, touched it, and you're not allowed to do that. He hadn't established himself back into playing territory again.
Sigma is taking Dandridge, and Silas is on Hayes, and Dennis Johnson blocks Greavy's shot. That's his 4th block this game. Dandridge a little perhaps too quick for Sigma. That's how he got open that time. And Marvin Webster shaken up, so we've got a 20-second injury timeout. What, did he take a blow, an elbow, Gus?
Very good one. I don't think it was an intentional elbow.
You would say a good
He was hustling after the basketball right here, and he just swung his arms out and popped him.
There's no bad elbows for you, are there, Gus?
Yeah, there are. I don't think it was intentional.
No, I don't either.
Well, you saw the play there. E was going up, and E has a tendency to throw his arms when he does that. And he threw his arms out, and he caught Marvin right in the face with the forearm.
Rick Barry told me that that you were playing tougher against him at 3-on-3 in Las Vegas and you closed out your career.
Well, you know, when you're going against Rick, you got to give it everything you got because Rick's going to come out there. He's going to needle me. When I walk on the floor, he called me, I'm going to get you, old man.
There's Major Bill Shanair alongside Mitch Kupchak.
You believe that? You're crazy.
2 minutes and 35 seconds to go, third period. Fred Brown and Unseld will have to do something now, and he got out there with a hand, and Freddie hit it.
That's a bad switch off that time. You don't want to have Wes Unseld guarding Freddie Brown out 20 feet.
Score tie. Unseld says, come on and use me, Larry. There's that pick again. His right swings free. Unseld rolls to the hoop. The Danvers shot. That's Washington-style basketball.
You could see they didn't want the man right to come back over the screen. Freddie Brown should have gotten up even higher and said, hey, there's no way you're coming this way. Go baseline. That's what Lenny wants.
Seattle, Marvin Webster wanted an open man and can't get one. Here's Sigma, shot clock to 5. Gravy had a hand on the ball. Shot went in, and Kevin Gravy has assessed a personal. He had a lot of the ball that time.
It's good position defense. He should have just went straight up and not foul him. And here's right here. Webster throws the ball over to Simcoe. Gravy switches out to help Elvin. Goes up. If he'd have just stayed there, he would have went up with good position defense. He didn't. His body crashed into him for a foul.
I want to tell you one thing. They are not calling a foul on Elvin Hayes. He had 2 of them they could have called fouls on him very easily, boy. I guarantee you, they are protecting him.
Right now. And he's still getting away with a lot. He's not as pushing as much, but he's still doing it.
Yes, sir.
Let's see.
That one, he lost his balance and fell into Sigma there. He said Sigma's moving his left.
They call a block. Yeah.
And he just whacked right there, threw his arms out and whacked Webster in the mouth.
Yeah.
So he has no reason to be complaining.
No.
Is it my imagination, or is it hotter in this building than I've ever experienced it?
We're down in a hole, Brent, you know, and there's not that much ventilation coming through here.
It's
You know,
warm.
yeah, it is.
You know why? You got more of a humid day out today, too, with that rain coming.
I can feel it.
That's it, huh? Al Unser wins his third. I won't promise a thing, Charlie. You know me better than that. Seattle's defense is so much better than it was here the other night. Well, the Unser family can get out Mother Unser's recipe for chili and have a big celebration. Al Unser has done it again, his third at the Indianapolis 500. Tom Sneva, who started on the pole second. Gordon Johncock, who had won the race previously, winds up third. Steve Krisiloff and Wally Dallenbach, fourth and fifth. Al Unser, the winner of the Indianapolis 500 today at the old Brickyard. No more bricks there, though. All concrete.
They have a little bit, that one little row. Let's give them credit for that.
For the tradition.
That's right.
66-65. Sonics lead on the strength of Sigma's three-point play. 1 minute and 40 seconds to go. 4 fouls on Greavy, 4 on Hayes, and 4 on John Johnson. Wright and Charles Johnson are in Mata's backcourt.
They've changed the matchup. They've got the big fella Webster on E.
Silas on Unseld that time. Got the rebound. And that, of course, keeps Silas just a touch closer to the hoop. And Paul is wide open, but he's not the best percentage shooter. He didn't even think shot. Dennis Johnson coming in, and there was a foul as he made his move.
We'll have to take a look at this one on the replay.
This is a tough call right here. Here he makes a nice, strong move going around. Bobby Dandridge is always in the lane. He moved right there. That was the call right there. If he don't move, the shot's going in. and he gets a foul on him.
And it looked bad. Bobby's upset, but he has no right to be upset. Excellent call by Earl Straub. Bobby Dandridge definitely moved underneath the man. Fine call.
That's 4 fouls on Bobby Dandridge, and Dick Motta is upset about the officiating and the turn that it's taken. He's got 4 players. Greavy with 4, Hayes with 4, Henderson with 4, Dandridge with 4. He has called this the most important game of the series. He doesn't want to go back to Seattle for 2, trailing 2-1. 67-65, Motta and the Bullets down by 2. Sikma threw a shoulder at Hayes and then got off of him.
Very stagnant here in the offense, as Gus has pointed out.
Well, I think they played a little better when Greavy and Henderson were in the penetration.
3-point play chance. Field goal down, and the E was fouled.
Here Bobby T brings the ball around. He's looking for E. He's got some guy outside. Makes a good, strong move, goes down, goes up, and gets bumped on the arm right there for the 3-point play possible.
Smart play by E that time. He got bumped before he went up to shoot it, and he knew he had the continuation rule in effect and took advantage of it.
That was the 4th foul on Sikma. Inside of a minute in the 3rd period. Right with Brown. Brown wants to back in and go one-on-one. Silas tapped it in with that tremendous timing that he demonstrates underneath the glass.
There's one guy on the floor that you have to box out every time that ball goes up. It is Paul Silas.
He's got radar to that hoop when it's up on the rim.
The shot clock and the timer are almost synced up. Just 2 seconds difference. Right. Sikma took it down with 3 seconds to go in the 3rd. Freddie Brown fires at the buzzer. So the end of the 3rd period in Game 3 of the NBA World Championship Series. Seattle leading Washington by 2. 12 minutes to go. I don't have the winners yet. I don't have a list of those winners. I don't have a list. Barnesy, where's my list? Where's my list of names? Where's my list? Okay, I'll go off the supers. Unreal.
Winners, 121 C4, 106 S7, 222 E2.
Why don't you give away
My list of names. Where's my list? Okay, I'll go off the supers. Unreal.
Winners, 121 C4, 106 S7, 222 E2.
Why don't you give away scrub? If you can find somebody to take them.
Sandy. Hold on her just a second. She's gonna get a little more publicity. Here are the winners of the Pepsi Hot Shot competition. Girls 9 to 12, and This little gal has been a favorite of CBS all season long. Sandy Harding out of Buffalo, a winner. Congratulations to Sandy. Boys 9 to 12 from the Portland, Oregon area where basketball is a fever. Kevin Luton, the winner. Girls 13-15, another Portland basketballer, Terry Reniker. Congratulations, Terry. Boys 13-15 from Cleveland, Ohio, Phil Gwizdowski. The girls 16-18, Judith Burgess from Atlanta. And the boys 16-18, here was Rick Barry's choice from Oakland, Kevin Eason. Now, in addition to their awards, the winners' names are going to be enshrined in the NBA Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts. Congratulations to all six as the East and the West splits, 3 wins apiece.
Mitch Kupchak getting ready to come into this ball game. Free throw shooting. Brent, both teams very poor. 59 for Seattle, 13 for 22, 9 for 16 for Washington, 56%. And you know I'm a real stickler for those free throws. They are so important. They count just as much in the early stages as they do later on in the game.
Each team scoring but 20 points in that period. Seattle's line is 24, 25, and 20. Washington's 24, 23, and 20. This has been a tough defensive game.
That's exactly right. That's why the scores are low. Both teams working hard on the defense.
Webster will take Kupchak as we start the last quarter. Blocked by Dennis Johnson. That's his 5th block in this game for a guard that's absolutely phenomenal. Now outside is Dandridge. Freddie Brown with control. Cross court to Sigma. Couldn't control it. Dennis Johnson overlet him.
He was wide open. I didn't think anybody saw him. Dennis did, but threw it just a little bit too far. So a break that time for the Bullets.
69-67. Sonics leading the Bullets by 2. Hold on, everybody. Here we go. Elvin Hayes. Silas on him. Dandridge got inside. If he could have controlled it, he'd have had a layup, and he lost it.
And he's really upset. He has a right to be. It looked to me like he got caught right on the arm, and that's why he lost the ball. There's the play coming up right here. E looking around, a double team coming up. He cuts right over there. Sigma all over his arm.
Kupchak with Sigma was all over it. Webster. Hayes taking Marvin. Paul Silas put it on the floor to the glass for the layup. A 4-point Sonic lead. Here's Dandridge giving back to Wright. Silas fronting Hayes, trying to take his offensive game away. Kupchak, and there was a foul.
Here's the previous basket. Paul Silas just sees a little bit of an opening. He says, hey, fellas, you know, I might not shoot from out here, but if you give me a drive, I'll take it.
No help there at all. No weak side. Nobody back for the Bullets. The lane was wide open. Once he beat the man at the free throw line, he went completely untested almost.
That's exactly right. Defensive breakdown.
Dandridge, Sigma's out on him. Kupchak up on Webster. Elvin Hayes was fouled as he came up for that shot. Dennis Johnson in behind him. Wilkins is upset.
Very tough shot by Kupchak right there. He should have waited and got a better position. He's got Marvin there guarding him. Here, we'll look at this one right here. He turns around, goes up. Marvin's there. Freddie Brown's back there. Foul right here. Johnson comes over E's shoulder.
Now Hayes, and if there's a weakness in Elvin's game, it's right here at the free throw line. Not this time. Front page story in the Washington Post on Elvin Hayes today. He's probably the most talked about athlete in Washington, and that includes our good friend Billy Kilmer. And Dandridge to the dribble. David back to Kupchak. Here's Henderson wheeling CJ, blocked by Dennis Johnson, number 6. It's unbelievable what he's doing. Freddie Brown. Webster gives it back, and Freddie downtown. Hayes hit it to Henderson.
Even that was a little too far for Freddie.
Johnson controls. Traveling. It'll go to the Sonics.
Charlie Johnson would have been better off that time to stop the free throw line. If nobody came to him, he'd take a good opportunity jump shot and see what would have happened. He took it all the way into the defense and caused a problem for himself.
Lenny Wilkins and the Sonics up 71-68 with 10 minutes left in regulation time. Hayes fronting Webster as he watches Sigma, so Sigma puts it up outside.
They need that from Jack Sigma.
Dick Motta trying to rally his troops. Trying to get some fire back in them.
One interesting point, Brent. Wes Unseld is not in the game.
Sickman with Dandridge. Here's Henderson. Short, but it is Elvin Hayes coming out of the pack. Now it is Dandridge.
I don't know how the officials could ever call a game like this. It is so hot and heavy under the basket. We'll take a look at this replay. The ball come off the board short. Look at the battle. He gets it. He tries to rush it just a little bit too much. Thought maybe he could have got the foul. Ball comes back off. There's Dandridge with his hand. Let's watch the action right here. It was Kupchak who hit the ball out of bounds.
What are they hollering about out there?
I don't know what he was grabbing the ball away from Bobby for.
Unseld replaces Elvin Hayes. 9:31 of the fourth.
He played a lot of time with 4 personals.
Kupchak missed everything. Silas off to Dennis Johnson. Dennis quickly to the left side in the layup. Dennis Johnson has taken charge at both ends of the floor.
And he has brought his teammates off the bench. You see him there in the background. What a great move by Dennis Johnson. Here he comes. Defense. Kupchak turned his head to the ball. He didn't know where it was for a split second, enabling Dennis Johnson to get the move to the hoop. You must know where that basketball is when you're playing defense out there.
If you don't think scouting is important, consider Dennis Johnson, Compton, and then Pepperdine, and not ranked amongst the All-Americans who came out that year. But he has been unbelievable here in the third game.
Washington can't try to get it back too quick. They have to be patient. Work the ball around. Get some good shots.
CJ's open. Webster was blind. CJ hit.
Very good there. The Bullets executed themselves. Actually, they moved the ball around, got the open man. CJ was there and hit the big hoop.
Webster travels. Takes that extra step as he starts the move. Wilkins doesn't agree with Strom.
That's 2 baskets he has made that have been taken away with the traveling violation. And they are 2 big hoops at this juncture.
That would make it a 10-point lead. Instead, it's 6. Marvin will sit down for a while. Wally Walker, Jack Sickman, Paul Silas up front. Kupchak, Unseld, and Dandridge. Dandridge backing in on Sickman. Double team gave it up now. Henderson. Here's CJ again. Pull up. Taken down by Paul Silas. Quickly to Dennis Johnson. Henderson's there. Johnson, I'll tell you, Henderson looked the other way and Dennis was to the glass.
And Dennis made the move there, Gus.
Very strong
What a
move
show
right here.
by Dennis Johnson. I can't believe what he's done here.
Comes down here, hangs, makes the face like he's going to give the ball up and brings it to the hoop, sucks the man away.
Gus and Rick, this is as good a job as I've ever seen a guard play in a championship game at both ends of the floor.
6 block shots.
Unreal. Whew. Got it, babe.
It is close. It's only 8 points.
Okay. Chuck, how's everything going out there?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If Seattle wins, you better get Dennis Johnson.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Well, the guards have been just such a big difference in this game. It's unreal. I think they've got 2 guards that have outscored all of them. Let's see.
Poland.
There's the very capable leader of the Washington Bullets, Abe Poland, trying to urge his Bullets on now as they trail it by 8 with 8:23 to go. Dennis Johnson with 12 points in those 6 block shots. Gus Williams with 18 points. Dandridge to the right side. Wes Unseld is first basket.
Jack Sikma allow Wesley to get inside position. If he gets in there, you can't move him out.
CJ Charles Johnson will try Dennis. Tom Henderson is with Fred Brown. Dandridge is with Wally Walker. Silas picks. Here's Dennis Johnson isolated on CJ. Shoots up over him, and not this time. Hayes outlet for Henderson. Brown is back. Henderson glides to the offhand. Chance for the three-pointer.
Very strong move by Henderson right here. Comes in, changes hands on him again, and goes for the left hand and gets bumped by Wally Walker down inside.
This could make it a three-point game if Tom Henderson hits it.
There's Wes Unseld's basket right there. You see him go in, sneak inside, get inside position. Sikma had lost him for a moment. The ball bounces right to him, and an easy basket for Wesley. But he made the good move. Once again, Sikma lost his man. You have to keep man-ball relationships.
7:40, 78-75. Sonics are up by 3. Defense is the Washington Pride. Fred Brown got his man in the air. The key to it was getting Henderson off his feet.
Well, you have to stay down on Fred Brown. He'll just take advantage of you all night long. He loves to do that, give you that pump fake.
You can definitely see that hoop.
And for most guys, that'd be a bad shot.
Here's CJ. Dennis Johnson trailing him. Came around the screen that time. Now it's Henderson. Shot clock down now to 1. Dennis Johnson was there on it. The buzzer went off. Did not hit the rim on that shot. Dennis Johnson was all over him outside.
And he got a piece of that ball again. That's another block shot for Dennis Johnson.
I think they had better start giving the young man some respect. He's got 6 blocks. He's giving it to him on both ends of the court. Somebody had better wake up and realize that he's here to play.
The first thing he's going to get is some rest, Gus. He just went out, and Gus Williams checks in. They want to save that fella for the stretch. 6:48. Williams putting it down on the drive. Foul as he came in through the circle that time, and the shot would have counted.
Again, we've talked about it, Gus and I, here all afternoon. The penetration, that is what really breaks the defense down, when you let that team get inside your gut. And that time, Gus was able to make the quick move. There was no weak side help again from the guard. He's playing his man-to-man off the ball. You must drop off on the weak side, filter into that middle, clog it up, force them outside.
Kevin Greavy returns for Dick Motta. Lenny Wilkins talking to Freddie Brown. Take a look.
Johnson.
I think they had better start giving the young man some respect. He's got 6 blocks. He's giving it to him on both ends of the court. Somebody had better wake up and realize that he's here to play.
The first thing he's going to get is some rest, Gus. He just went out, and Gus Williams checks in. They want to save that fella for the stretch. 6:48. Williams putting it down on the drive. Foul as he came in through the circle that time, and the shot would have counted.
Again, we've talked about it, Gus and I, here all afternoon. The penetration, that is what really breaks the defense down, when you let that team get inside your gut. And that time, Gus was able to make the quick move. There was no weak side help again from the guard. He's playing his man-to-man off the ball. You must drop off on the weak side, filter into that middle, clog it up, force them outside.
Kevin Greavy returns for Dick Motta. Lenny Wilkins talking to Freddie Brown.
Take a look at the foul situation, Brent. 3 for the Sonics, 2 for the Bullets. Nobody in big trouble right now.
No one with 5. 82-75. It's a 7-point Sonic lead.
Again, we haven't heard much from Elvin Hayes on the offensive end of the floor.
Unseld. Short, and it's Gus Williams. Almost went to the outlet in Marvin Webster. Here's Brown off the Marvin for the Ram.
That's the way you run a fast break. Dick Motta wants, yes, he wants a timeout. He doesn't like what's happening. Here we go on the play. Gus Williams comes, waits smartly. Good pass to Freddie. Freddie commits the defense to him. Webster's wide open. He takes it to the hole. Now have a situation with a 9-point lead for the Sonics.
You look as though you could use some excitement, America. Something new, something fresh, something as fresh, as new, as exciting as the new Chevrolet Monte Carlo. The new Monte Carlo surrounds you with personal luxury, with a surprising amount of room. But most of all, it surrounds you with genuine driving pleasure, mile after efficient mile. So come drive one and put a little distance between yourself and the crowd.
Light beer from Miller tastes just great, and that's no fish story. But the best thing is, it's less filling. Light's got 1/3 less calories than their regular beer, and that's important when you're trying to land that big one. Like yesterday, I hooked this bass, fought him for over 6 hours. All of a sudden, he jumps clean over the boat. Broke my rod, and I had to tie the... No, wait a minute, fellas. I had to tie the line off.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Left me out there with nothing but a paddle.
It's a good time to save on Sears Dynaglass belted 28 tires because right now they're on sale at 40% off. With 2 fiberglass belts, you get good traction and long mileage. 40% off. Sears Dynaglass belted 28. A good tire at a good price. And here is the Sears Guardsman 4-ply, priced as low as $18.88. That's value at Sears.
Next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports Spectacular presents live Olympic gold medalist and undefeated professional Sugar Ray Leonard, taking on veteran Rafael Rodriguez in a 10-round welterweight contest. That's next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
From Landover, Maryland, I'm Brent Musburger with Rick Barry and Gus Johnson. 6:15 for the game. And Gus, what's happened to Elvin Hayes in the Washington attack?
Well, the trouble is one thing is that they're still looking for Bobby Dandridge down inside. They're not getting back on the defense. They're not playing Washington's game right now. Big E has not even looked for a shot. They can't get the ball to him.
Henderson with control. Here is Kevin Greavy from the right baseline. And every time a bullet comes up, there's a man in green right there, playing with much more intensity at the defensive end. Wilkins screaming in panic on this call. Went against Fred Brown.
I think there's a lot of intensity and pressure situations out here. Lenny Wilkins, a very calm and mild-mannered individual, running down to get a little glass of water or something. He can't even sit down. So a break there for the Bullets. Greavy with a tough shot wasn't going to go in. Seattle had the ball back, so chance to cut that lead down to 7.
Tough afternoon for Kevin Greavy. He shot but 1 of 13 from the floor. 2 team fouls against the Bullets, the Sonics with 4.
Not just Kevin Greavy. The Bullets' backcourt has not been up to par at all that's happening in this basketball game, and that's probably the biggest fault for them right now.
They've hit only 3 of 15 from the field in the whole 4th quarter.
And that's been a real problem for this Washington team. When the guards don't do it, they have trouble winning.
Hayes takes Webster. Brown comes around the Sigma pick. Inside pass, Webster. Freddie Brown from the corner. Freddie runs it down and went out of bounds and go to Washington.
There's still a lot of time to go in this ball game. Only 7 points for Washington. They just cannot get too over anxious. Just have to take good, smart opportunity shots and work for them hard.
Dandridge wants Sigma. Backing in on him. Knocked away by Williams on the steal. Gus Williams with a left-handed pass to Freddie Brown, who's all alone left wing. Greavy came over, influenced the shot.
And Freddie Brown got overconfident. He thought he had the easy basket. He slowed up. What a great play by Kevin Greavy.
Too relaxed.
Dandridge now forces one. Silas is off on the fly with that muscle on the glass.
You can never be overconfident in this basketball game. Fred Brown had an easy basket. He didn't hustle and take it in strong. And Greavy has to be credited with a big saving block.
4 minutes and 50 seconds to go. 15 rebounds for Paul Silas. There was a whistle with Silas putting the ball on the floor.
Bobby Dandridge with his 5th personal foul now.
And, you know, those fouls don't make sense for a guy to foul a man like Paul Silas. Standing out here, he cannot shoot the ball or won't shoot it from there.
Dennis Johnson returns. Hits Gus Williams with the pass. Back to Sigma.
What a play by Gus Williams. You can't say enough about that. He drew the man to him, dropped it off behind his back with the right hand. Watch this good cut, good pass by Dennis. Watch this play. Drew it to him, flips it over the shoulder. What a great play.
Henderson now swings right to Bobby Dandridge. Greavy comes up over the top. Greavy with the shot. Foul's going to go against Seattle, and Wilkins again is up and screaming. I haven't seen Lenny Wilkins this active yet in a game. The trainer now telling him to calm down a little bit.
Well, Lenny knows that ball possession is so critical at this stage, and he hates to see that situation. Twice Greavy's taken tough shots. Neither one would have gone in, but he's gotten bailed out with the foul call.
The thing now is that I think Seattle, all they have to do is remain and keep their poise. They're in a comfortable position right now. Do is come down, take good shots, play the tough defense, and use the clock to their advantage.
4 minutes and 27 seconds, which can turn into an eternity. The NBA, 86 to 78.
A lot of time to go. Defense will do it.
Dennis Johnson goes low, and Greavy tracks it. Sigma is alone on the left side. Silas joins. Dennis Johnson. Greavy picked off by Webster. Pass back outside. Here's Williams. Williams with the shot clock running down. Marvin Webster with an offensive board. It's a good thing the ball hit the rim, or the shot clock would have expired.
Nobody boxed the big guy out. Paul, once again, Wes Unseld is not in this game,
In the basketball game, and this will tell you what the Bullets are made of right now. They're in a tough situation. We will see what they'll do here.
Kupchak with a strong rebound. Underneath is Hayes.
Great hustle by Elvin Hayes that time. That was just out-and-out guts and determination. And that really keeps them in the ball game. If they hadn't gotten that one, Seattle would have been in a commanding situation.
At 3:30, Dick Motta elects to go down the stretch. Hayes and Webster going at it. What the whistle was about. Marvin Webster going to start to lecture Earl Strom, and Strom tells him to shut up right now.
Might be a double foul situation here, because they just came down and hammered one another, and it is on Marvin Webster and Elvin Hayes. A good call by Earl Strom. They both deserved it. They just hammered one another with forearms.
It would have been a terrible way for E to go out of this game on a stupid, ridiculous foul like that.
Greavy comes out with Dennis Johnson. Gus Williams with control. 3 minutes and 20 seconds. It's 88-81. Sonics by 7 points. Silas with the pick. Dandridge goes with Gus, and now Silas has got Charles Johnson, and Johnson fronted him and knocked it out.
Well, that situation, I'm sure if Paul Silas had gotten the ball, he would have got it right back out to Gus, because Gus had Bobby Dandridge on him, and it would have been tough for Bobby to stay with him.
Williams outside. Hayes for the rebound. Here's CJ.
Not a good shot in that situation. They have to get better shots than that.
Greavy free in the middle. Missed it, tapped it back up, and there was a foul. It'll go the other way. Kevin Greavy, out of frustration, came driving back inside and came up over the top.
This is what happens right here. When you lose your poise, guy comes down, he's taking a bad shot. He hasn't been shooting well from the floor at all this afternoon. So he comes in, he forces it. He wants to do it by himself. Well, it's a team effort. You cannot take control of it by yourself.
Sonics with a 7-point lead in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Hayes watching Webster. Unseld watching from the bench. Dennis Johnson to the right, and here's Freddie Brown. Got inside of Charles Johnson that time and missed it, and Dandridge with a big rebound for the Bullets. Lead, Kupchak. Mitch didn't shoot it on the move.
Big basket for the Bullets. That's got him right there at striking distance.
2:20 and a 5-point difference.
Seattle's taken 2 bad shots. A long shot by Gus Williams and a tough shot by Fred Brown.
Crowd picks it up. Hayes on the steal. They can go to 3. And Dandridge went to the drive on him. Jack Sigma, number 5.
Very smart move by Bobby D. He gives Simca a small little fake right here, gets him leaning, goes baseline, and he sticks his knee out and draws a foul on him.
And the penalty situation in effect for our Sonics.
Unseld is back. If you're wondering about John Johnson, take a look at the Seattle bench. Our director, Sandy Grossman, will get us a shot of John Johnson. He obviously injured the left side of his face, and he's been holding an ice pack. There he is. So now that creates a situation where Sickma's got to take Dandridge, and Gus and Rick have pointed out he doesn't have the quickness.
Yes, and also that was a very big free throw right there that Bobby Dandridge missed. Now it could be just a 4-point game. He could have got it back down to 3. 88-84. So Seattle has called a timeout. Lenny Wilkins wanted to get his troops together. They have not played smart offensive basketball in the last couple of series down the floor. They have gotten bad shots. They turned the ball over the third time down the floor. They have nobody to blame for themselves for allowing a very comfortable lead to diminish.
And 3 of those turnovers that they had, the Bullets converted 2 of those into baskets for the Bullets to close this gap up to where it's at now.
Now the pressure shifts to the 2 coaches, Lenny Wilkins and Dick Motta. Every trip down the floor becomes absolutely critical to these 2 teams. You're probably well aware of the situation. After this afternoon's game, we go back to Seattle for games 4 and 5 on Tuesday and Friday nights on CBS. Both games will start at 9 p.m. in the East, so all of you youngsters will be able to stay up and watch, and we'll have a 6 o'clock start along the Pacific Network.
What has happened, in my estimation, to this Seattle ball club is that they've got this comfortable lead, and we've seen it happen so many times. They came down and they became tentative offensively. They did not come down with the aggressiveness that established that lead for them. They did not take advantage of the break situations on a missed shot. And this is what has caused them the problem. Consequently, they haven't moved the ball around. They haven't gotten good shots.
On the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, welterweight contest. Unbeaten Sugar Ray Leonard, who won the gold medal in the Olympics, against Rafael Rodriguez. Sugar Ray Leonard has proven that he is one of the most popular television boxers. Every time Sugar Ray shows up, we have a huge audience, and so too does anybody else who televises his fights. CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Right now, the Washington team has got that home court rooting for him, and I can tell you right now, that has been a big factor in helping them to get themselves back in this ball game for 19,000 people rooting for them.
It hasn't hurt them at all, Rick, I'll tell you that. What the Bullets have got to do now is they have got to start more attacking Seattle's offense, and as well, they've got to tighten their game up.
Sigma comes down to help out. The Sonics bring it up, leading by 4. We are inside of 2 minutes. Unseld, Hayes, and Dandridge. Charles Johnson and Greavy for Washington on defense. Hayes switches on Freddie Brown to the corner. Johnson's fronting Sigma. Freddie Brown still dribbles it down. Takes the shot clock inside of 5. Off balance. Washington can move to within 2. They're going to call a timeout and set a play right here. At 1:39, Motta told him, if you get the ball on the miss, go to the timeout.
I cannot believe that Lenny Wilkins wanted Seattle to do what just took place, to have Freddie Brown dribbling the ball around all by himself out there. Washington played great defense. Every time a screen was set, the man guarding the man doing the screening jumped out on Freddie Brown. They were not about to give him an open shot. Freddie forced up a difficult shot. It didn't go. Washington did what they had to do. Now let's see what's going to happen here, Gus.
Well, what happened there, Rick, is I think that in the process of Freddie doing that is that the other 4 guys are only standing around. It gives the Bullets a chance to rest as well, plus they can get their game in order also.
Okay, you've seen the Bullets more than I have. Who are they going to go to here?
Right now, I'll probably say they'll go to Bobby D or Big E down inside.
Of course, the E hasn't seen the ball very often.
No, he hasn't. Not at all.
He has scored 27 points and yanked down 20 rebounds. He's been a tower of strength. And there's a reminder of what's ahead. Those times are all Eastern, so game tonight from the Kingdome. Game 5 Friday night back at the Seattle Center Coliseum. And if we need it, Game 6 Sunday right back here in Landover.
If anything positive came out of that last situation for the Sonics, it was the fact that they did use a great deal of the 24-second clock. It is down to 1:39. That's the only positive thing that you can find resulting from that situation.
Have to keep in mind with the Washington Bullets, as I'm sure all Philadelphia 76er fans remember, on a missed shot underneath, Wesley Unseld can be a great tower of strength. That's how he picks up a lot of points during the season, cleaning up on a miss.
Seattle's defense must do it right now.
They have elected to take Unseld out of the game and go to the shooter, just as I say that. They're going to go with Mitch Kupchak, Elvin Hayes, and Bobby Dandridge, Kevin Greavy, and Charles Johnson. That will be the attacking team right now.
Big series right here for Seattle. If they stop the Bullets on this particular sequence, they can't take a commanding situation in this basketball game.
CJ starts it. Stolen by Freddie Brown. Leads Dandridge to the basket. That could be the biggest basket of the playoffs.
Still a lot of time left here, Brent, though. They have to play tough defense again.
Kevin Gravy. Webster was there, and there was a foul called.
Jack Sikma, I believe, picked up the foul.
And if so, that could be number 6. We will check and see how many Sikma had. I believe that's 6 on Sikma the way he's... Yes, it is. Jack Sikma has fouled out, and now Wes Unseld replaces Gravy. Mata went for the shooter off the inbounds play and quickly gets Wes back into the game.
Watch this great anticipation play right there by Freddie Brown. Boy, does he play the passing lanes. Takes the play right down to the basket. Sees Bobby Dandridge just waiting for him to make a move. Was hoping to get a three-point play if possible.
Very symbolic of the difference in this game is a guard stealing from another guard's pass, because certainly the Seattle guards have outplayed Washington's here this afternoon.
One good point, Brent. If you noticed on that play, just where the Bullet guards were at, they were out much further than they normally are. So it made it very difficult for them to make a pass down inside because Seattle is overplaying them.
Wisely, Bullets got the ball up the floor quickly. Did not take very long. They only used up perhaps 8 to 10 seconds in that exchange. And so they're right back where they are, except Seattle will have possession ahead by 4.
Sikma fouled out with 17 points and 7 rebounds. His best game by far, the 3.
Now they must use the clock.
It's 4, 90-86, and 1:15 for the game. Sonics watching the clock. Shot clock down to 5. Knocked away by C.J. Charles Johnson on the steal. Puts it on the floor now. Glides right side. It's not there. Taken down by John Johnson. I thought he had it. 54 seconds. The shot looked dead on. Hit the rim and just went off to the left.
DJ came back with the big defensive play, but has been the case all afternoon. The ball will not go in for the guards from outside.
Brown at the top of the circle. C.J. with him. Shot clock down now to 5, and there's a foul.
Paul Silas set a great screen that time. Charles Johnson is an anxiety to get over and stay with Fred Brown. Hammered his way through it. Paul Silas will go to the free throw line for 2 opportunities, a chance to increase the lead to 6 points with 37 seconds. And if Seattle loses this game in that situation, they're in big trouble. Here we'll still the play. Right now, Charles Johnson working hard on Fred Brown. Here's Paul Silas coming up. Brown. Paul Silas is moving a little bit on that play, folks. He was jumping off on it. They got a real break on that one because Paul moved into Charlie.
He sure did move that time.
Silas with 15 rebounds, shooting for his 10th point. And when the pressure's on, good shooter or not, you can expect Paul Silas. Dick Motta, eyeballing that clock, knows how difficult this situation is. 37 seconds. And a 6-point Seattle lead to overcome. It is not impossible, but it would require a very quick basket and a quick turnover down at the other end. So they'll set their defense as well as a play right now.
Exactly right, Brent. What will happen right here is if you analyze the situation, there will only possibly be 3 shots left in this basketball game at the maximum if Seattle can hold on to the basketball for their allotted 24 seconds when they gain possession. Even if Washington comes down and takes a quick shot, they've got the basketball where Seattle can only allow Washington 2 opportunities to shoot it. If they make both, they still can win by 2 without scoring.
Next Saturday and Sunday, the Kemper Open, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. That, of course, will come your way from the Quail Hollow Country Club in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tommy Weisskopf, the defending champion. Gary Player, the 1978 Masters champion, due to compete.
That's what happened to this Bullet team.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rick, what I feel is that they just come out here, they were not mentally prepared for this basketball game, and what happened is just a better team came out and they had a little more intensity, a little more desire.
Gus, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say that this was the best game of the 3 so far. I said coming in to some people that I thought Seattle had a chance to win here today, but I also think that Washington has a chance to win Tuesday night in Seattle. I'm not convinced that this game demonstrates Seattle's superiority. I think these teams are really evenly matched.
I don't believe that the Washington guards are going to have as poor a performance as they had here this afternoon. And you could certainly look for them to break out of it. And I have to agree with you, Brent. I don't think that this indicates that Seattle is just going to go ahead and sweep this series.
Yeah, but this is just one game, you know, so like they have the upper hand here this afternoon.
Gus and Rick, thanks go to our producer, Chuck Milton. Director Sandy Grossman. Here's Dandridge. They've got to score in a hurry. Greavy's got it back, came right back with the shot. Dennis Johnson out there on the foul. Lenny Wilkins is still up screaming. Well, if we were still giving individual MVP awards, there is no question in my mind but that Gus, Rick, and Brent would be voting for one Dennis Johnson.
Concurred. I agree.
In fact, a lot of folks have asked me about why we haven't been giving the MVPs, and of course, Chevrolet picked its Player of the Year in George Gervin, so we have not been picking individual most valuable players during the championship series.
We also have a special award for the most valuable player throughout the championship series at the end of it.
Who would you vote for right now? Who do you think the leader is, Rick and Gus?
It would depend upon who won the series.
92-88. Defense critical right here. Silas goes to John Johnson. Now they can wind the clock down in the attack court. They spread them in. Dennis Johnson with the dribble. Back to Silas. Play was stopped by Bannock.
What happened? They took an intentional foul way out the floor. Wes Unseld threw Marvin Webster about 20 feet.
They're going to take it. He just ran it right into the backboard.
There is one of the highest class individuals in the National Basketball Association, Wes Unseld. You talk to opponents and teammates, and boy, they really respect that guy.
These free throws are very important, and Marvin's been known to miss in certain situations. And there's one he didn't get in there. It's only a 4-point game with 19 seconds to go. If he were to miss and Washington gets down and scores it quickly, and there's a turnover, it's a big free throw right here.
93-88, and the last 19 seconds begin. Hayes. Greavy went down, so too did Fred Brown. There are 12 seconds left. It's a 3-point game, and a quick steal would really apply the pressure right here.
I'm surprised right now we don't have a timeout by Seattle. Get the ball in half court. Here's the play here. Pass off to E. You see Paul Silas wisely get out of the way. He doesn't want to get the 3-point play.
Instead, Lenny Wilkins will go to the ball handler, Gus Williams. He'll send him in right now. Now, of course,
I don't think he can get in the game now. It's not a foul. It's not a timeout.
You're right.
The ref just stopped the play to clean up the floor.
Couldn't get him in. Johnson double team, dribbles free, knocked out of bounds. It'll go to Seattle. 9 seconds.
Again, I'm still wondering why, if there was a timeout left for Seattle, they did not take the ball out at half court with the timeout. You're in very vulnerable situation back there in the back court. That's what happened to Washington against Philadelphia in that one game with 9 seconds to go with 4-point lead.
They're still going to be in the back court.
He's got 3 guards in there now. Took Webster out.
9 seconds. Williams Henderson's got it out of bounds. It'll go to Seattle. Play took 1 second.
That was some gamble that time by Seattle. I don't understand what they're doing. They had a man wide open here at half court, and yet they elected to make the tough pass going for a basket. Surprising.
The continents of youth, Arbery. Henderson on the steal. 5 seconds. Henderson to the layup. It's 93-92 in 3 seconds, and here's Freddie Brown. Hold it, he stepped over the line. Ball goes to Washington. They stepped over the line on the inbound pass. Washington can win it.
Hey, Brent, I'll tell you what, there's the replay right there. I don't know where anybody stepped on the baseline. We got that replay again. I sure would like to see it.
I would too, Rick.
2 seconds to go. The Bullets can win it.
There's another angle. Now let's keep an eye on it. Here's Henderson. Fred Brown wisely moves away. Now Paul Silas will come in bounds. Watch him right here. Throws it in. He is nowhere near the baseline. That is a terrible call.
Referees are over there at the table.
I don't know if the call was stepping on the baseline, Brent. Paul Silas is nowhere near the baseline. You can see it yourself.
Lenny Wilkins is out.
Went from 2 seconds back to 3 seconds on that.
3 seconds.
They gave him an additional second. Washington can win it. Dandridge with the shot. In and out. Silas takes it down. It's over. Seattle has won 93-92. Dandridge's shot was in the hoop momentarily and spun back out. And Paul Silas did not give anyone a chance to tap it back up. Seattle has split on the road here in Landover, Maryland. What an ending to that ball game. Take a look at it here again.
Pass goes into Bobby Dandridge. He gets wide open, gets a good look at the basket. They're battling under the boards. You see Hayes and Unseld. They got inside. Elvin almost touched the ball to get offensive goaltending. It was not to be for the Washington Bullets, and they really got a break that time because they shouldn't even have had that last shot
at all.
Well, I'll tell you, Gus and Rick, this was by far the best of the three games from beginning to end that had that intensity.
I loved it. It was super. I think this is an indication of what is to come in the remaining ball games. And as you pointed out, Brent and Gus, this does not mean that Seattle hasn't wrapped up.
No, it certainly doesn't.
No.
You go back out there now to the Kingdom, and Gus, what do you think? Do you think they'll have as big an edge there? I know there's a lot of fans, but it's a strange place to be shooting in.
Brent, I don't think that Seattle have a home court advantage. The simple fact is that it's a neutral court, really. They are going to another place to play their basketball game, as well as the Bullets. But I think the Bullets will stand a better chance at the Dome.
Well, I really don't think it's going to be that much of a factor, Brent, mainly because in our championship year in '75, we played at the Oakland Coliseum, and we played all of our games at the Cow Palace where we had never played a basketball game before, and it really didn't make any difference. They're going to have 45,000 people yelling for them out there, pal. That's a heck of an
imagine 45,000. I did have an opportunity in New York to check with the football coach of the Seahawks, and he said, Brent, I don't know what kind of sound they will get out there. Sometimes you can get a few people out there rattling around. It won't cascade down on top of you like it does at the Seattle Center Coliseum.
Gus, they've got their court and their baskets, right? And their balls. I mean,
here I am looking for a reason for Washington to go out there and even it up.
They're going to be tough because they really want to win. They know that they didn't play well. They're ready to go.
All right, great game all over. For Gus Johnson and Rick Barry, I'm Brent Musburger saying so long from Landover, Maryland, with a reminder, be with us Tuesday night, 9 o'clock in the East, 6 o'clock along the Pacific Network for Game 4 of this sensational championship series. So long, everybody. The NBA on CBS is a production of CBS Sports.
The fine art of scooping involves speed and accuracy. Follow the drama on Lou Grant tomorrow night on CBS.